Hey, what's good, chat? Oh, God, I feel terrible. That's okay. My brain stopped. Not much. We're finishing Stolen Turnabout. We're on the last trial, and then we'll probably end up getting through investigation of the next one. It's fine. Maybe getting into trial, but I doubt it. Might be another thing like the other day where it's, or like yesterday where, you know, they have like an awkward ending time. But I think we'll probably just get through the 2 and then be done. Like usual. That's kind of how it seems to be going, right? We get like 2 sections done every time. And then we can get into it next week for the rest of Case 3. So yeah, I don't think I have anything else. I think I'm good to just get into it. I think there is anything. I don't think so. I want to see about trying to get some Strive going on Saturday, Sunday, but we'll see. We'll see. I have no idea if that will happen because it seems to never actually happen when I want it to. So, yeah. My 100%ing of Dark Souls Remastered has been going well. Now in the DLC, the only thing left to do is kill Gwyn. And also finalize some grabbing of spells and stuff. But I've done everything I can for the first run, really. Aside from ascending weapons and stuff, but a little bit easier to do that on Plus, but I might just grind the items. I got a couple of items to grind anyways, so I might end up doing that when I get my when I get to that point. That's not really relevant to right now, because right now we have a trial to do. So I don't know what to expect. I really don't. But we'll see. We'll see. Alright. Let's get into it. Part 4-1, trial. Right. October 14th, 9:41 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 4. Hey, Nick. What is it this time? I can't believe how many people are here for the trial. Well, it is a murder case. What are you talking about? They're here for the trial next door. Next door? Why don't you know this, Nick? They're having Detective Abney's trial today. Detective Abney? They say they're going to try him as Mask to Mask. Already? That was fast. Well, I'd love to see Mask to Mask's trial. I know. By the way, where's Pearls? Oh, she went back home. She can't neglect her training anymore. I know you don't like me. Pearls has really gotten into her training lately, huh? Yeah, ever since that incident last year. Please, don't ignore me. Ah, Mr. Delight. Good morning. No one likes me. No one would notice me even if I killed someone. That's not a good thought process to have, my guy. Come on, don't be silly. Wait a sec. You don't mean you're the murderer? No, I'm just a poor thief. No, wait, that's not right. A thief can't really be poor. Now, let's see. According to Mr. Delight, from his second crime on, he was following a bunch of set plans. That's that someone had been sending to him to help him commit the heists. Which was probably the CEO. Do you really think there's a connection between the thief and the murder, Nick? It's possible, but today's trial is a race against the clock. Huh? How come? Just take our time like always. I'm afraid that's not an option. October 14th, 10 a.m. at District Courtroom. Dropping thing. Oh, there he is. Go get down. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Ron Delight. Well, the defense is ready, Your Honor. You're ready? Preparation is the last refuge of the weak. Okay, settle down, everyone. Let's begin with your opening statement, Mr. Godot. Put the judge in the palm of his hand yet again. Ronda Light is simply too young to be sent to war. That's all. I'm afraid I have no idea what that means, Mr. Godot. Then you need to get out more, Your Honor. Life is war. That is exactly why you must be more precise in your wording. That's all my statement means. You understand now, right? Yes. Well then, let me briefly summarize the details of this case. Wow, they're just taking charge like he knows what's going on for a change. The victim is Kane Bullard, CEO of KB Security. His body was found in a safe at approximately 9 AM on the morning of the 13th. However, the time of death was estimated at 1 AM of the previous day. And that's when our little lost kitten dropped the ball. That little lost kitten is, of course, the defendant. Very well then, Mr. Godot. Please call your first witness. I never drink more than 17 cups of coffee during any given trial. That's a lot of coffee. 17? But the first one is always the best. Mr. Godot, your witness? Okay then. Let's hear what the defendant, Mr. Ronda Light, has to say for himself. The defendant? Well, Mr. Wright, does the defense have any objections? Maybe a bit of a disadvantage having the defendant testify, but... I remember when Mia was defending me. She let me to testify so she could do the cross-examination. Put a lot of trust in me back then. Was this true? We have no objections, Your Honor. The defense will allow Mr. Delight to testify. Huh. You got guts, trite. Alright then, Mr. Ronda Light, oh, Ronda Light, I'm sorry. Please take the stand. Not Ronda Right. Tongue twister there a little bit. You know how it is. You did it, didn't you? Yes. What? No. That's not true. For a moment there, I thought we'd set the record for the shortest trial ever. Well, Mr. Light already looks plenty guilty with that face he's making. Unless it was his big mouth, he'll probably put the last nail in his own coffin. Huh, very well. Now then, can you tell me something? If you didn't kill Bullard, why did you go to KB Security? Well, that's kind of hard to say. Boy, I wish I could go home. Now then, let's hear some testimony about what happened. It was blackmail. Visit to KB Security. That evening, around 1 AM, I went to see Mr. Bullard in his office at KB Security. The blackmail letter I got. It ordered me to go there. I've been working for KB Security until a year ago, so I knew where his office was. 1 AM? The exact time the murder took place. The weak get washed away by the tides of fate. The strong drink it up. Huh. It's bitter today, too. Just like my destiny. You never know that from the way he's chugging it down. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you please. No problem. Visit the KB Security. Evening on 1 AM. 1 AM, huh? You're absolutely sure about that? Yes, that's what my boss said when I was entering the CEO's office. No. Actually, I'm not really sure. My watch was slow and the clock was also update. 1 AM? That's the time the victim, Mr. Bullard, was murdered, correct? Paid for the coffee date, that's for sure. What letter I got ordered me to go there? It ordered you there? It was the first time I'd gotten a blackmail letter that ordered me to go somewhere. Does that mean you've got other blackmail letters then? Oh, of course. Let's say... Why don't you save this for later, Mr. Delight? I use those anymore. Now, what should I do? Press harder. So, what did the blackmail letter in question say? It said to bring $50,000. Money, eh? Perfect motive for committing murder. Oh, but wait. Oh, hey. I never intended to pay that money anyway. Oh, is that right? After all, I have nothing to hold over my head. I have nothing to be afraid of. An important point indeed. Witness, let's have that out of your testimony. Yes, sir. Huh. Muddy mud skipper in outer space has a better chance of surviving than I do. Didn't scare me. Just what were you being blackmailed about anyway? The blackmailer said if you don't want your identity revealed, correct? I'm sure he was referring to the whole fast DeMasque thing. But I wasn't worried. Mr. Bullard didn't have anything on me. He didn't? Anyway, I don't care what anyone says about me. Just as long as Desi believes in me. So that's why Mr. Light didn't believe he was Master Mask. That's why I knew they were just hollow threats. Working for Kirby's Experience like a year ago? I knew where his office was. You used to be a security chief for Kirby Security, right? Yes, that's right. A security chief? You? And yet, a year ago you were fired without notice. Revenge for an old grudge? A perfect motive for murder, wouldn't you say? This isn't good. Maybe I should change the subject. Well, why he was fired? Mr. Delight, tell us why you were fired from your job. Well... The world is filled with those who have said, I wish I had never asked that. Okay, then I take it back. Defendant, please answer the question. Well, I needed money. You needed money? Well, you see, Desi loves to spend it. It's kind of her hobby. And not exactly the best hobby in the world, huh, Nick? My salary wasn't nearly enough, so I stole data from the company. Come again? KB Security has a lot of security info on all sorts of companies. And since I was a security team chief, you stole some data and sold it. Mr. Bullard found out, and I was fired immediately. What? Wish I'd never asked that. I was somehow able to keep it secret and make it seem like I'd quit on my own. What is it, Nick? You don't look so good. Someone who brings harm to their company is fired as punishment. You do well to remember that. He sure told you. So you admit that you stole data from your company, is that correct? Yes. I'm sorry. This is a very important fact. Please add it to your testimony. Oh man, something just took a big turn for the worse. Crashed and blew up. Like the jaws of life ripped this case from the clutches of disaster. Why would you do something like that? Well, you're Tessie's hobby. What else? Wasting money, huh? What a waste! So Miss Tessie doesn't know that her husband was fired, does she? So it would seem. I'm not sure what to think about couples who keep secrets like that from each other. I can't believe it. This has gotten even mine to think seriously about couples. Please try to stay focused, Mr. Wright. There wasn't much to his testimony, was there? Sounds like he's avoiding something. At least that's what it sounds like to me. Uh-oh. Got a bad feeling about this. You better be careful. But if we don't find a way to make him spill the beans, I'll never get closer to the truth. Yeah. Alright. Mr. Bullard at the security office. Oh, I gotta order me to go there? That's true. Let's remember what we have. So it's on. Buzzer went off once at 1:02. Let's save all the crime scene, and this lists the stolen goods and some amount of money. Probably a price. The buzzer. It's the first heist. Kane's autopsy report. The brooch. I don't think there's anything useful here. The office key was used at 1. And Kirby Security building at around 1 AM on the night of the crime. Written with a fountain pen. Found in Ron's room. True identity revealed to the world. Come to Kirby Security at 1 AM on October 12th and bring $50,000. If you don't, I'll take that red diamond you received the other day instead. Red diamond? I know nothing about a red diamond. Security camera photo. And the camera went off at 1. Calling card. Wasn't going to cause me trouble or anything? I don't know if I fully believe that. Like... It doesn't seem quite right, but There was another statement, right? Whose office was? I think it was this one? Right? So that's right, you were fired. Or was it this one? There's one that he, like, could press harder. I think it was this one, maybe? Black on the bout. Objection. Tisk. I'm afraid that reason isn't going to hold up anymore. I guess I missed the line. My bad. What do you mean? The victim had no proof the defendant was DeMasque. But you were the only one who stole company secrets. Only 1 year earlier. But that was all over with once I was fired. But it is true that the fact that I stole secrets was kept under wraps. Even so, there was no reason for me to pay up now, a whole year later. Is that really true? What is it, Nick? I thought Ron was stealing company data. I wonder if you would have had a problem if that ever became public knowledge. Of course. Mr. Delight, I believe you would have been in considerable trouble if your identity as a company data thief was made public. Mr. Wright, what are you trying to do, bullying your own client? Men are like colonies of bacteria. The more heat you apply, the faster they grow. That's exactly right. Well then, feel free to keep up the heat, my little lawyer amigo. Little lawyer amigo? Yes. Now come on, provide some evidence to back up your assertion. Does Mr. Delay want to keep his data stealing secrets from going public? Does he freaking work there? But also, he wouldn't want his wife to find out because she hates crime. Mr. Delight, what you said just now doesn't match what you told me yesterday. Huh? What doesn't? I think you must have been scared. Very scared. Of having a certain person find out your secret. A certain person? Miss Desi Delight. The defendant's wife. But listen to me. Like, Desi, she's... It looks like if I just sit back and relax, the fun will end before it truly begins. Yeah, Godot. Yes, we know. It was all your wife's fault. What do you mean? Miss Delight stole company data, or Mr. Delight, I'm sorry, stole company data to pay for his wife's spending habit for which he was fired. Unable to face his own wife, someone used his dirty little secret to blackmail him. And that is how this murder came about. No, everything is falling neatly into place for him. Don't talk about my Desi like that, or you'll be sorry. Well, it seems that we've learned a great deal of things here so far. What do you think, Nick? I didn't think it was possible to get so thoroughly whipped in just 20 minutes. Or wiped? Whipped? Wiped? I don't know. Both work. Clearly there was sufficient motive for murder. He stole data for his wife, and he killed to protect his secret. A family man who cared just a little too much. The motive is clear. Let's move on. What happened at the crime scene at 1 in the morning, Mr. Delight? Come now, tell us. We're all ears. God, that was so cool. I actually do like Godot, he's really cool. When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there. Suddenly I was hit in the forehead. After that, I remember being a bit dazed. If I hadn't been wearing that, I would have been killed. When I came to, Mr. Fuller was lying there, dead. I see. Suddenly hit on the forehead, huh? I believe the detective from yesterday provided similar testimony. I believe that the mask struck him on the head from behind. And of course, since Atme turned out to be the culprit himself, that was all a lie. Huh. No one's going to believe a pathetic lie like that. What are you saying? It really was attacked. We'll find out if what you say is true or not during the cross-examination. You got that, Mr. Trite? Don't go easy just because he's your client. If I see any sign that you are, I'll treat you to another cup of my special blend. You don't need to worry about that, Mr. Godot. I have faith in Ron. I know he didn't do it. Alright. There's something I light in there that is interesting. I want more explanation on it, but we'll get to it in a second. Okay. Who is this suspicious shadow? If there were 1,000 of me, and if I even... talking is hard. If there were 1,000 of me, and even if I even... why is this so hard? If there were 1,000 of me, and if even one knew, I tell you, trust me. His dodging of other questions is not helping us win his case. Okay, then how was the victim, Mr. Bullard, at the time? What do you mean by how was he? Was he already dead? Was he still alive? Maybe he was the one who hit you in the first place. That's a good question. What do you think, Mr. Wright? Forget it. Was that on the forehead? Your forehead? Yes, I was hit on the forehead as soon as I entered the room. It was an amazingly fast and powerful attack. Do you remember anything about who hit you? Well, like I said, it was fast and a powerful hit. So I think I was a little dazed for a while. I don't think Mr. Light even grasped what you were asking. Yeah, I could show him a fast and powerful attack myself. That would knock some sense back into him. I hadn't been wearing that. That's what I wanted to know. That? Could you please clarify what you were referring to? By my Master Mask costume, of course.
Wait just a moment. Master Mask?
Oh, did I forget to mention that before? Just to be on the safe side, I dressed as Master Mask. And then I descended upon the office of the CEO and of KB Security.
What?
Nick, did you know about this? He never told me this. I don't recall him ever mentioning it to me either.
Even I didn't know that.
It seems our little friend really loves to keep secrets. I'm sorry, I just never had a chance to mention it up until now. Wait, that's not right. You know how sometimes things just slip your mind? Huh. My 6th cup of coffee is staring up at me coldly.
At any rate, we can't ignore this new piece of information. Witness, please correct your testimony.
I'd have been killed if I hadn't been wearing my Master Mask costume. Why were you dressed up as Master Mask? Why was I Master Mask, of course?
What are you talking about? Master Mask's trial is being held next door.
Yes, I guess so. Anyway, at that time, I thought I was being blackmailed over the Master Mask issue. So I thought I should go as him, just to be safe. Oh boy. Let me tell you, it's a real pain to move around with that cape. That's why it took a lot longer than I'd expected. It took a lot longer? What are you talking about? That's harder. What do you mean by took a lot longer? Oh, opening the safe, of course. My cape got caught on the safe door, you see. This all happened when I was hiding Mr. Bullard's body.
What was that? Back up a second.
Yes?
You were the one that hid the body in the safe?
Well, yeah.
Inconceivable! Why? Just why? What reason could you have? What were you thinking?
Question. When does someone toss their dirty shorts in the washing machine?
What?
The answer is simple. When they take them off.
As usual, I have no idea what you're saying.
Do you mean that Mr. Delight hid the body because he's the murderer? Huh. So you're not as stupid as you look. This metaphor this time was really obscure.
Mr. Wright, you don't mean... What you knew about this whole safe business? Do you?
Well, yeah.
Why am I the only one not in the loop here? Witness! Actually, read this to your testimony.
Yes, sir. Uh-oh. It's like a storm front is moving in over the fair weather jungle, or fair weather judge. I can't hide the body in the safe. It took about 10 minutes. Well, why did you hide the body in the safe anyway? Well, because it wouldn't fit in the drawer. That's not exactly what I meant. I saw that corpse, I kinda lost it. I thought, they find his corpse, they'll think I did it.
Huh. You had a simpler reason than that. Because you killed him. But you spent 10 minutes hiding the body. That certainly makes more sense.
Hold on. 10 minutes? What is it, Nick? I just had a thought. What are the circumstances? Would you know they tried to hide the body? And spend 10 whole minutes to do it? Under those circumstances? What circumstance? Oh. Hey, Nick. I think his behavior was so strange. Why don't you present some evidence that would show just what those circumstances were? That's it. I'll take a look at the court record and present some evidence. We heard this from Mr. Light yesterday, didn't we? There's not much in his testimony, either. I bet he's still hiding something. I wouldn't be surprised. We'll just draw it out of him. I just hope he doesn't make things any more complicated. I assume what they're getting at is... the buzzer. Right? The button was going off at 102. And you spent 10 whole minutes trying to put the body back. That to me make sense. Right? Why would he spend 10 minutes trying to hide a body in this circumstance when he doesn't have to? So I think the buzzer going out, right? Because security would come up and then they'd see him and be like, "Oh, you killed the CEO!" And he'd say, "No, it wasn't me." Yeah, okay. Your Honor, could you please take a look at this record? Every time I do, it makes me laugh. What might this be? The record for the emergency buzzer that connects the CEO's office to security. If the button in the office is pressed, a security team is supposed to come running. And according to this record, the buzzer was pushed once, at 1:02 a.m. What? If Mr. Rondelite truly was the murderer, he would have ran as soon as the buzzer sounded. After all, a security guard would have been hiding his way. Huh. Let's remember who we're dealing with here. He probably had no idea there was a security personnel in the building. Up until 1 year ago, my client was working as chief of security. There's no way he wouldn't have known about them. But, as it turns out, the guard never came. That was nothing more than a coincidence. The fact that the guard was a pathetic loser, who had just gotten punched in the face by his ex's new boyfriend, and wasn't anywhere in the vicinity was not something Mr. Light could have known. Huh. Again, remember who we're dealing with here. It's a sure bet that Mr. Light didn't even notice the buzzer going off. This buzzer is extremely loud. There's no way he could have ignored something like that. If he had been conscious, that is. Conscious? What do you mean by that? Yeah. Fine. Let's see your theory. Recall the defendant's testimony. The moment he entered the victim's office, someone attacked him. Mr. Light said he felt dazed. I'm willing to wager that he was knocked unconscious for at least a few minutes. Unconscious? So he fainted? That's why Mr. Light didn't know that the buzzer had sounded. And that's why he thought he had time to hide the body. So, what are you trying to say? Mr. Light was knocked out, and the buzzer went off scene afterwards. Now, unless my client was able to hit the buzzer while he was unconscious, it could only mean that there was another person in that room. That's right, whoever it was, they knocked out Rondelite and then pressed the buzzer! They're the real murderer! Order in this court! Mr. Wright, this is... This is preposterous. It was this kid. Rondelite is the one who killed Kane Bullard. Then who pressed the buzzer? It was... the victim, of course. He pressed the buzzer when the defendant attacked him. He didn't die right away. He must have held long enough to push that button. Kane Bullard sounded the buzzer himself. What is your opinion on this, Mr. Wright? I need to prove that the real criminal was there at the scene. How? Can I prove that it wasn't Kane Bullard who sounded the buzzer? Yeah, maybe? I think so. Right? The defense's opinion is this, Your Honor. This piece of evidence proves that it wasn't the victim who sounded the buzzer. Oh, that's right. There were no fingerprints on it, right? Isn't that what they were told? Yeah, there were no fingerprints on him. And he doesn't wear gloves, as far as we know. I believe this is the piece of incontrovertible evidence you were looking for. The emergency buzzer? Is there some kind of clue on it? Absolutely not.
come on now. You have to give some thought to what you say before opening your mouth. The fact that there are absolutely no clues is itself the clue. Now I'm the one who's clueless. This button has no fingerprints on it. If Mr. Bullard had really pressed it himself, naturally he would have left his fingerprints behind. Whoa! Objection! Run the light obviously wiped them off. Why would he? A guard could have come in at any moment. A guard could have come in at any moment. He touched that button. I know he did. The defendant, Mr. Delight, was dressed as Master Mask. And Master Mask always wears gloves. What reason could he possibly have had to wipe the button free of fingerprints? I'm having a hard time reading right now. I don't know why. Order. It would seem. Was that cup number 7? I've been forced to eat crow. I wonder what blend number crow-flavored coffee is. However, if the real killer was there at the scene, why would that person press the emergency buzzer? Shouldn't they have run away without putting themselves in extra danger? What's in this awkward silence all of a sudden? Huh. It looks like you're fresh out of parlor tricks. How do you, Nick? Just give me a minute to collect my thoughts. The real culprit killed Mr. Bullard at around 1 a.m. And Mr. Delight just happened to waltz in when the murder was taking place, right? The killer clobbered Mr. Delight and then sounded the buzzer. Even though security was supposed to respond right away if the buzzer was pressed, security was supposed to respond? Time's up, Mr. Wright. Let's hear what you have to say. Very well, then. Oh, you've got some guts. I like that in an opponent. Why did the real killer sound the emergency buzzer? Call the security guard. They could frame Master Mask. The killer knew that if they pressed that button, a guard would come running. And that was exactly what they wanted. Do you mean to say the killer called the guard on purpose? Yes. Although, as it turned out, he never showed up. Because he was getting his clock cleaned at the time. What a touching story. You're saying the killer had a change of heart and called the guard to turn himself in? No. No, I'm not. When that buzzer sounded, there were 3 people in that office. The victim, Kane Bullard, who was already dead. The defendant, Ron Delight, who was out cold. And the 3rd person, the real killer. Hypothetically, yes. Now then, in this situation, if the real killer made an escape, what would happen? What was left in the room would be the victim and Ron Delight. And if any security guards came running in at that time, they would think that I was the murderer. Yes, that was precisely the real killer's objective. To frame Ron Delight for the murder. Yeah? Yeah? Order. Huh. It would seem. I've been made to eat my words once again. Actually, you've been made to do a spit take. A cup of coffee. Mr. Wright, who was it? Who was it that tried to frame me? Wait a second. I'm the one and only Master Mask, so... Nick, I mean the real killer is... They're gonna drag that person in here right now. But, who is it? I don't have any solid proof yet, but think about it. The killer knew Mr. Delight's identity, and they also knew that he had been called to KB security that night. And the killer used him to execute a well-crafted plan to murder Kane Bullard. Now then, let's hear your accusation, Mr. Wright. Who was it that framed Mr. Ron Delight for the murder of Kane Bullard? Well, none other than Larry Butts! No, it was Luke Adney. Detective Luke Adney. He's the only one that could have done it. Ace detective? Luke Adney? You mean Master Mask did it? Your Honor, the person being tried in the court next to us is not Master Mask at all.
He is, in actuality, the true murderer of Kane Bowler. Order, order! Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Theft and murder. Which is the more serious crime? They're not even close. Murder is the more serious crime, of course. It's a capital crime subject to capital punishment. Please remember the trial from yesterday, if you would. Look at me confess, there was a huge commotion in the courtroom. Of course, a famous detective was unmasked as masked DeMasque. Instead of being convicted of murder, he was found guilty of grand larceny. That was his true objective all along. To be found guilty? Masked DeMasque had the perfect alibi for when the murder took place. He was stealing the urn at Lordly Taylor. In other words, being found guilty as Masked DeMasque was Luke Atme alright. Was Luke Atme's airtight, watertight, and unassailable alibi. Guilty murdered as an alibi? It's an interesting strategy. Playing the game, though. Okay. You know, it's almost time. For what? Luke Atme's verdict. It was a pretty simple trial, after all. We're going to stop this trial and all that one. We need to do it now. Of course. Let's assume you have proof that the detective was the one who committed the murder. Well, Mr. Luke Atme's trial has indeed attracted the attention of the entire country. If you were to intrude and fail to provide adequate proof of this true crime, Mr. DeLay would be left with no grounds for appeal. Am I really sure about this? Huh. That's only good when your life's on the ante. Mr. Wright, I believe in you. Mr. Delight. So, please, I'm begging you. Thanks, but my decision will determine the rest of your life. Can I really risk your life like this? Phoenix? What was that? Don't stray, Phoenix. Your client take the path of trust. That voice, it sounds like... Mia! Your Honor, the defense requests an immediate recess. So that's your answer, huh? Very well. I've decided as well. This court will now take a 20-minute recess. Mr. Wright, when we return, please summon Mr. Luke Atme to the stand. Yes, Your Honor. October 14th, 11:58 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 5. Oh, look, it's Winston Payne. Well, Sir Detective Atme. I have to say, Mr. Payne, you performed splendidly. Oh no, Sir Detective Atme. You were the one who... I just now realized that those two... Oh, hey, look, it's this judge. That's enough. This court sees no reason to further prolong this trial. This court finds the defendant Luke Atme. Wait! Yep. Wait! Don't have down your verdict just yet, please. Well, Sir Lawyer, welcome to my courtroom. Well, who's this hoser, eh? My name's Phoenix Wright, attorney at law, and I wish to file an accusation against this man, Luke Atme. Accusation? You accuse Masked DeMasque? That man is not Masked DeMasque. He's just a ruthless murderer. Oh, what? That wide eye. Actually, I kind of really like Luke Atme's design. As ridiculous as it is, it's actually really, really cool. To be continued. Right now, after I save, of course. Like the good boy that I am. Let's do it. October 14th, 12:14 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 4. My sis? I could have sworn I heard Mia's voice. So then, she's still alive? Inside your heart? Nicky boy! Oh, Miss Delight. Is it true that the detective is the real killer? To be honest, I don't have any definitive proof. But he's the only one who could have done it. But wasn't he at Lordly Taylor that night? Not to mention, they don't exactly know his motive. I mean, why would Detective Atme want to kill kill Kane Bullard? Oops, it's almost time. Better get back to the courtroom. Need to find some solid proof. Gotta happen sooner rather than later. We have no reason to believe that he should be there. But he was. That's the thing, is he was there, and he did do it. We have no reason to believe that. October 14th, 12:21 p.m. District Court. Six. We got relegated to 6 this time, huh?
Now then, this court is back in session. Mr. Luke Atney, please take the stand.
I thought I was done, boys. Yeah.
Well, how do you do, sir lawyer?
I never would have thought to see you acting so recklessly.
I couldn't let them hand down the verdict just yet. Not when it would have given you your perfect alibi. An alibi by the name of DeMasque.
I'm sorry, I'm afraid even the great Luke Atney has no idea what you mean. Oh, of course, I have been in the next courtroom ever since 10 o'clock this morning. I'm afraid there's no way I could know what's been going on in here.
You've been in the defendant's seat all day long, correct? Being tried as Master Mask.
Indeed. It's truly child's play to fool the ignorant masses. Not only did the poor fools ask me to protect their valuables, they even gave me a generous reward upon returning their own property to them. Take this red diamond ring that sparkles upon my divine finger, for example.
So you continue to insist that you are in fact Master Mask?
Of course!
Very well then, look at me. Let's begin with one simple question. On October 12th at 1 a.m., Kane Bullard was murdered. Where were you at that time?
One without knowledge lacks even the knowledge that, well, he should be ashamed of himself. But don't worry. I will not hold it against you, Sir Judge.
Thanks.
All right, Mr. Atney. The night of the murder, speak. We're all ears.
As you wish, Sir Prosecutor.
It's crazy lighting here is really annoying, though, I'm not gonna lie. It's very fitting for him. Alibi.
I was sitting there as Master Mask, just like I announced I would. I had more than enough time to prepare. It was a pathetically easy job. The photograph contains no words, but in this case, one turned out to be my witness. The time in which the camera captured Master Mask was the same time as the murder.
It seems the main point of discussion will be this photo of the crime scene.
Everything else up until now was all part of his plan. There's to be a secret to this picture as well.
Even the great Master Mask cannot be in two places at once. Now then, if you'll excuse me, I have a verdict to receive.
Unfortunately, Mr. Atney, it's not to do your cross-examination.
A fool is too foolish to know that he is a fool.
I think he's trying to say that you're full of it, Nick. The only thing that's full of it is his alibi. Also, listen here, Francisco von Karma. Alright. Let's do the urn. So, this photograph is the proof, correct?
Indeed it is.
And the man in the photo is certainly wearing a mask.
That is why I'm called Master Mask.
But, conveniently, that also means there's no way to tell who this really is.
What do you mean?
Huh. Are you saying that this is not in fact Luke Atney? That it could be an accomplice dressed up as Master Mask to create an alibi?
Oh, what an interesting idea. Are you saying that I, Lone Wolf Luke, had an accomplice?
Ooh. Am I saying you had an accomplice? Who do we have? You don't particularly know anyone. Unless it was Adrian, but I doubt it was Adrian. And it wouldn't be Desi, right? And Rod was at security. So, I would give this up for now. Yukami was at KB security during the murder. And the Master Mask in this picture has to be a fake. Then there really was an accomplice. But right now, I have no idea who it was. I don't have any idea right now either. Business objections are just what that guy wants. There's gotta be another way. I'm gonna find it. I believe Adrian Andrews hired you at one point.
That's right. That was over 20 days ago, if I'm not mistaken.
You sent the calling card to Lobby Taylor 10 days before the heist. That would mean you sent out the card after you began your security watch, right?
Indeed. There's no reason why I couldn't do both jobs at once. It was the perfect opportunity to steal my latest target.
I see. You really are evil, aren't you?
Yes, evil is what I am. Hey, Nick, there's something odd about this. Detective Annie is always proud of his ace detective skills, right? But it was stolen from Lily Taylor while he was the only one watching it. He'd have no way to maintain this perfect ace detective persona. You know, that's true. It's kind of odd. Where it contains no words, but in this case, one turned out to be labeled this. So by photograph, you mean this piece of evidence here? Is that correct? Indeed it is. That it is the very thing that proves I committed the crime. The very thing proves he committed the crime. When you think about it, pretty odd. You said almost as if you had this picture taken on purpose.
He was simply caught by the very camera that he had set up. We all have days like that.
Indeed. It turned out that there was no such thing as the perfect crime after all. Life is truly an ironic thing. Sad blue melody.
Looks like I'd better gather more information for now. If he's really the killer, there's gotta be something phony in that photo.
I think I know what it is.
I wanna see what else he says. About the camera that took this photograph.
Oh, come now. It's not too clear what you're thinking.
Huh?
You think I altered the timestamp on the photograph, don't you?
I'm afraid that's impossible. The camera was set up by Lily Taylor, and on top of that, it was Lily Taylor's staff that printed the picture's data. Unfortunately for the defense, there's no way that picture could have been altered. I see.
It looks like I better find something else that could be suspicious.
So, this alibi's false.
It has to be, or he couldn't have killed Mr. Bullet at the KB security. But I'm not really spotting anything unusual. There are two possibilities. Either the masked mask in this photo is a fake, or the photo itself is.
It's more than enough time to prepare. It's a pathetically easy job.
I don't know if presenting this is correct, but I'm going to. Okay, no it's not.
Anything about the statement, I would follow. You don't sound very sure, Mr. Wright. Objection denied.
My idea was, if you haven't noticed by now, I'm going to show you. So, up there in the, basically the entire right side here, right? The statue was over top that paint. So somebody moved it during the heist. Clearly, beforehand. Right, it was taken at 0:58. So just before 1 AM. We can see the imprint where the box was, so we know that it was there. But I don't know who the accomplice could be or would be. So I'm assuming this image is fake. I'm not gonna say fake, but it seems there is something interesting. So by photographing this, that proves it. Means I could not have killed Kane Butter unless I had an accomplice. Come on, think long and hard about that night. Basement warehouse, and this picture that supposedly captures it? It's gotta be here. Is there anything funny about this picture? You bet there is.
Are you implying that this picture is a fake?
You bet I am. There's definitely something strange about this picture. We took a look around the basement warehouse that night before the theft took place, and there's something in this photo that doesn't match my memory of that night.
Very well, then let's see what you have to say.
What about this photograph you find? This is what you find funny. The big paint stain. The funny part is right here.
Why, this is a blood stain. Ah, blood. Now this case is getting interesting.
Not exactly. This thing is actually pink paint.
Oh, just paint. A peach color with that.
Blood to peaches. Just sure loves going on his wild tangents. Sure. The problem with this photograph is not the paint. The problem is, when you consider the layout of the basement warehouse, it turns out that something
It turns out that something that should have been there is nowhere to be seen. Well, Mr. Wright. What is supposed to be in this picture instead of the paint stain? The unfaithful statue. The supervisor of the treasure exhibit stated the following. Well, there's a good reason for that. On the day of the crime around noon, that both statues just happened to arrive from the mountain training hall. I realized that the statue would be the perfect size for covering up the paint stains. That's why I put it where you first saw it. I myself was at that night the theft took place, and saw the statue in that spot. If the picture was truly taken on that night, the statue should have been there. But when I went there the day after the theft, the statue of the old bag was sitting in the corner. Perhaps it was somehow pushed there accidentally? Your Honor, the statue is certainly larger than yourself and quite heavy. It would take more than an accident to push, or more than an accidental push to move it that distance. I'm sorry, Your Honor, I'm having a stroke. Huh. In that case, can you prove it? Can you give us a rhyme and reason as to why that statue was moved that night? Can you do anything? Never mind who moved it. The question is why they moved it. Well, Mr. Wright, I hope you're prepared with your answer. Now then, who was the one that moved the golden statue when I brought it? Probably look at me, right? Because he would have moved it so that he could create this perfect alibi. The one who moved the statue was none other than Luke Atney. Come now, Sir Lawyer. There you go again, on one of your strange delusions. Mr. Wright, what basis do you have for your strange illusions? It's very simple. The witness was the only one in the basement warehouse that night. It is indeed very simple. However, why would I want to move a heavy golden statue? The reason for moving the golden statue? Here's where our battle really begins. Well, Mr. Wright, what reason did the witness have to move that statue? The reason can be found here in this photograph. Look at me, you pretended to be Master Man. To create an alibi by showing you were at Lordly Taylor then. But this photograph contains a single fatal flaw. If that statue had been there, your lie would be exposed like cheap film at a drugstore. That is why you had to move the statue. Good. Single fatal flaw? Interesting theory. Please enlighten us. Just where in this picture does this lie exist? I mean, I guess, right, it wasn't actually 1 AM, is the thing. This whole thing is predicated on the fact that it was 1 AM, it actually wasn't. But it was taken just before 1. Yeah, let's do it. Naturally, the lie is this photo is the time stamp. What do you mean? I'll tell you exactly what I mean. On the night in question, Luke Atney went to Cape Security and murdered Kane Bowler. Therefore, it's obvious. It would have been impossible for him to have been at the Lordly Taylor at this time. That's an interesting way to go about it, PX, okay? But what does it have to do with the statue being moved? Remember, if you will, Your Honor, when was the statue placed beside the warehouse door? Well, the statue was taken down to the warehouse on the day of the crime. It was placed there in order to cover up the paint. Exactly. Ducati had already decided on the time when he was going to kill the victim. So, in order to create an alibi for that time, he took this picture days before the murder took place. That's what I was thinking. What the? Well, of course, the statue hadn't yet been brought down to the basement warehouse yet. Oh. So, on the day of the crime, Bradley must have been quite nervous. As nervous as a long-tailed cat in a rocking chair factory, so to speak. Why? Because something that wasn't supposed to be there had been brought down and placed where it wasn't supposed to be. And that is why Luke Atney had to move the statue on the night of the murder. He did it to make the room match with the way it had been in this photo. Ah! I was thinking that, actually. Order. Mr. Atney, is this true?
Yeah, I was thinking that he took this photo beforehand. He had prepped the photo of himself as Master DeMasque so that he could use it as evidence.
One moment, Your Honor. Have you forgotten this?
What?
The data from the basement warehouse computer. According to this, the camera did indeed go off on the night of the crime.
It's true that the camera had been set up by the Lordly Taylor staff. However, the program used to manage the data was yours. That alone would have led you to tamper with the data.
Order! Mr. Godot, where's the meaning of this? Godot! I warned you about making me wait. Now put down that coffee.
My 11th cup. I've promised to drink no more than 17 during the trial, which means I'm still good to the last drop.
However, the defense has a very good point.
A good point? Oh, what? We are all but travelers on a road of infinite points. I think he got his points mixed up with his other points.
So you say this photograph was taken ahead of time?
That the statue was moved in order to make a match.
A very interesting idea.
However, there's one point that can't be denied. Which is that it's only a possibility. Men that are trapped by the chains of maybe can never reach their dreams.
That's very true.
No way, don't fall for that, Your Honor. Hey, Mr. DeMasque.
Yes?
There's no funny business in your actions as Master Mask. There should be no problem with you telling us your strategy. So let's hear it.
Yes, please provide this court with your testimony. About your plan to steal the sacred urn.
I first received a request from Lordly Taylor about 20 days ago. The urn was placed in a box burned Savari. It was then sent to the warehouse. Hence, I was actually unable to see the urn for myself until the day of the crime. I knew it was an extremely valuable treasure, so I sent my card 10 days beforehand. I then handled security by myself to ensure that my crime would go smoothly. At last, I had the urn in my hands for the first time at 1 AM on October 12th.
That's pretty much all the stuff we've heard before, isn't it? Yeah, but we will find the truth hidden in the nuggets of new information he gave.
Witness, you are sure there are no mistakes?
It's fine.
Very well then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
Question from Taylor about 20 days ago. You were asked to guard the urn by Miss Adrian Andrews, is that right?
Indeed. It seemed that they had heard of my sparkling reputation.
I see Miss Andrews is still attracting the weirdos. You better watch out too, Maya. This in a box. You mean this box?
Yes, the pathetic box. Lady Andrews was especially taken with that urn. And she would let anyone enter the storeroom, not even me.
Huh. Interesting new tidbit. I was actually unable to see the urn. So, you're sure that you had never seen the urn before?
Indeed. You may ask Lady Andrews to confirm it for yourself. My security was focused entirely on the entrance to that warehouse. However, look at me, let no information whatsoever slip through my fingers.
That's an extremely valuable thing. You mean this calling card?
That's right. That is without a doubt my calling card.
I guess Mr. Delight didn't make this after all. Of course, because Atney knew about the emblem. Making this card authentic would have been child's play for him. Security. Did no one enter the basement warehouse?
Unfortunately, there were many different treasures being taken there. Thus, for a period of approximately 5 days, we were indeed going in and out of the warehouse.
I guess I have the end in my hands for the first time. And this is the photo that proves that, huh?
Indeed. To be honest, even if a photo was taken, I didn't think it would matter terribly much.
Hey, Nick, this photo's a fake. You thought he let us film the urn whenever this was taken. That's true. You know, he's been saying that he never saw the urn until that night. If everybody's lying there, we can wrap this up and put a bow on it. Let me take a good hard look at the court record. Not a lot to go on, is there? Detective's been covering his tracks. There's only one thing we need to prove in this cross-examination. That he took this photo well before the actual night of the crime. Alright then, how do we do that? There's one thing that Adney stated very clearly, that he had never seen the urn before he stole it. You need to prove that he's lying? Yes. Prove that he is lying. What does this say? I will be coming to purloin the most priceless work of art on display in your Treasure of Coraine exhibit. Take good care of the speckled urn, won't you? It specifically states the urn. Plus there's also the exhibit poster. So he would have seen the urn at some point. Right? The warehouse, hence I was actually unable to see until myself to the day of the crime. Probably the calling card, right? Because it specifically states... Yeah. Mr. Adney, if you really are Master Mask, then you also wrote this calling card, correct? Oh, but of course! Is there a problem with that calling card? Well, let me read a passage from the calling card that Master Mask had written. Take good care of the speckled urn. Now, the speckled here surely refers to this pink pattern of the sacred urn. Yes, that is true. But so what? Truth be told, there's no way that Master Mask could have known about this pattern. What do you mean? This pink spotted pattern on the urn is actually nothing more than paint stains. Paint stains? And these stains did not appear until after the urn had been taken to Lily Taylor. I'm not finding this joke to be very funny, Mr. Trite. The day the sacred urn was taken to the warehouse, the urn was broken due to human error. Well, should I say, error-prone human. And that's when the pink paint got on the urn. Yeah, you can't be serious. And yet, this calling card really mentions the pink pattern. Which means Detective Adney had seen this urn long before the crime had ever taken place. In fact, he saw it when this fake photo was taken. And because this photo was a fake, your alibi for the night of the murder was no longer holds water. Dang. He's laying into it. Witness, you have anything to say for yourself? Yeah. Alright, that did it. He's broken. Nick? I think it's a little early for a victory pose. Huh? Huh. It's so sad. No one has any conviction these days. Conviction, you say? Yesterday, we all decided unanimously that this man was Master Mask. And now, we're calling him a murderer? You don't think we're being a tad fickle? That's a good point. No way. Don't fall for that too, Your Honor. You said that Luke Adney was the one who killed Kane Bullard. Let me ask you this. Why would he do that? An excellent point. Motive, Mr. Wright, motive. Might you my merry murderous motive manifest? Nick, he's getting his second wind. If he had an alibi and didn't just crime on an undelight, as you say, must have had a very strong motive for murder. The only one with any motive we've seen is Ron the Light. Isn't that right, Detective? Indeed. According to my own research, the boy's motive is clear. Without a motive, it's certainly impossible to prove guilt in the murder case. Now then, maybe you can enlighten us as to what the defendant's motives were. I'd be honored to, sir, old-timer. Doing everything I can to make Ron look suspicious. Despite a lack of hard information, this may be an early chance. Alright. Motive for murder. I, Luke Adney, had no points of contact with the victim whatsoever. Kane Bullard decided to investigate Master Mask and simply mistook who he was. It was Mr. Bullard who wrote the blackmail letter and sent it to Ron the Light. It was again Mr. Bullard who harbored a grudge against Mr. Delight for his betrayal. Mr. Bullard's mistake was quite excusable.
The defendant truly believes he is Master Mask. That is why Mr. Delight sought fit to kill King Bullard. Truly a tragedy.
So the victim, King Bullard, blackmailed the defendant? This is the blackmail letter found in the defendant's apartment. A handwriting test confirms that Mr. Bullard was indeed the one who wrote the letter. What?
Blackmail letter updated in the court record. Found in Ron Delight's room, written by Bullard.
Very well. Mr. Wright, begin your cross-examination.
Oh boy. Motive for murder. The company had no point of contact with the victim. And who in the world is going to prove that?
I will. After doing a thorough background check of Detective Atme and King Bullard, we weren't able to find any links between them. It's all in the report. Perhaps they were connected through their work? We're both involved in security. Nope. That was blunt.
In any case, go with a motive was Mr. Delight.
Mistook?
That's right, mistook. From the Old Norse, mistaka, meaning to take an error.
That wasn't what I meant.
Well, sure, the victim was saying Master Mask to be.
Why, the answer's obvious. Ron Delight, of course.
Boy, I'd like to wipe that smug look off this guy's face. Press harder. Why would the victim mistake the defendant for Master Mask?
Don't you already know that? Svati! Take a look at this newspaper.
Oh, that's the famous Tiraminon. A magnificent jewel.
That photo shows a magnificent detective as well, does it not? Furthermore, it also shows an ugly guard, the defendant.
The defendant?
The victim clearly misread this article and Svati. You got the wrong impression. The impression that this ugly security guard was in fact Master Mask.
I see.
That's an unusually reasonable deduction. Well, except the ugly part, honestly. Ron ain't that ugly. He's looking fine. You mean this blackmail letter right here?
It says bring $50,000.
And the handwriting is without doubt the victim's?
There's no mistake. We have an official report to prove it. But I don't see any addressee on this letter anyway.
What addressee?
This letter was discovered in Ron Delight's apartment. Mr. Delight did show up at the designated place and time. The fact that there is no addressee is irrelevant.
I wonder... What's up, Nick? I just had a thought. What if that blackmail letter wasn't meant for Mr. Delight? Whoa! Do you have any evidence for that? For some reason, I just can't shake the feeling that there's something not quite right about this blackmail letter.
Well, everyone, are you quite satisfied?
I suppose. Well, what do you mean by that?
Oh my, I was certain you were already aware. Svati!
KB Security has a lot of security info in all sorts of companies. And since I was security team chief, I stole data from the company.
King Bullard had yet to forgive young Master Delight. That's why he sent him that letter upon mistakenly believing he was the thief.
Here's a file that we discovered in Mr. Bullard's office. Evidence that Mr. Bullard was receiving money through blackmail. However, isn't that a bit odd? Why did the defendant pay Mr. Bullard the money? Even though he wasn't actually Master Mask.
On that point, that was an unfortunate bit of chance.
Do you really think that story is going to hold up?
That assertion is not merely my own, I'm afraid.
What do you mean?
I have here a memo from Ron Delight's wife, Desiree Delight.
Oh?
Well, Ronnie thinks he's Master Mask. Don't you feel sorry for him? Please don't think too badly of him. Huh. Well, Mr. Trite...
Was he trying to act like Mr. Light just now? I think it's actually pretty convincing. Mr. Light saw it fit to kill King Bullard. Really a tragedy.
A tragedy of a time. A real Romeo and Juliet. A real Hamlet.
That's just your imagination talking.
Now, sir lawyer, I'm afraid imagination isn't the right word for it. This is a deduction.
The result of carefully applied reasoning.
We have that careful reasoning for ourselves.
A long story, and better say it for another time.
Very well, another time.
So-called long stories aren't usually that long.
At least not in my experience.
So you're gonna try to connect Detective Atme to Mr. Bullard, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Hopefully it won't require surgery either. In that case, I want to talk about the blackmail.
That's true.
Was that blackmail letter really intended for Ron? Since we don't have enough information, you should press him for more testimony.
Be able to shake some contradictions loose that way.
Alright. So he made a good point earlier, right, Mr. Lottie here, about having this red jewel. Right? And the blackmail letter specifically says, if you don't, I'll take that red diamond you received today. Which makes me think that the statement of Kane Bullard being mistaken isn't actually wrong. He did actually, or he was actually mistaken. And he thought, yes, and he thought he was the, was Master Mask, when in actuality, it's not, it's Ron. Yeah. Mind if I ask you a few questions, Detective Atme? Well, it's just a few, I guess that's alright. You said that this letter was addressed to Ron the Light. I couldn't help but notice one major contradiction. Contradiction?
I don't know where a walking contradiction like you gets off saying things like that.
You want to talk?
Times like these, men are made to express themselves with their fists. Why don't you show us what you've got here, Junior? Indeed, time to man up, Mr. Wright. What's the contradicting evidence in the content of the blackmail letter?
Ooh.
I
mean, it's the red diamond, right? So what do I mean, maybe the clipping? Where was that? It's in... No, it was in this one, right? Yeah, about first highest garden photos were on the light, right? He might have thought...
The precious gem, the Tear of Eminon.
There's a big blue chip.
I didn't even notice that the whole time. That's very nice.
Looks really cool. Yeah, for a reproach, if you will.
Is it a newspaper clipping? Right? You might have thought that it was, I don't know. We'll just go with that.
Take a look at this newspaper clipping. Contains a picture of the Tear of Eminon, a stolen jewel.
What about it?
The problem is this jewel's color.
Color? I'm not much for discussing color myself.
According to the clipping, the color of the stolen jewel was blue. However, the blackmail letter, a totally different jewel is mentioned. I'll take that red diamond you received the other day.
Red?
Which means red is not blue. The red diamond described in the blackmail letter is not the Tear of Eminon that masked the Mastel at all. That is not at all what I assumed it was stating to begin with.
And your point is, Mr. Trite, that you're trying to say that this blackmail letter was intended for someone else? That is why you're trying... That is what you're trying to say? Right? Right? That is what you're trying to say, right, Mr. Wright?
Well, that is what you're trying to say, right, Nick?
Yeah.
This is who Kane Bullard was actually blackmailing. Our boyo, Mr. Luke Atme. Naturally, it was you, Detective Atme. Do you have some sort of basis for that claim? You have been personally involved in every single mask-to-mask case. And in the last case, you recovered what was stolen and received a jewel as your reward.
A jewel?
Probably the one wrapped conspicuously around your finger. That red diamond ring! Yeah. That is the diamond referred to in this letter, which means that Kane Bullard wrote the letter in order to blackmail you! Ah!
Order in the court. Order, I say. It seems you've gone too far with your childish pranks, Mr. Trite. Uh-oh. I don't like the way he said that. Kane Bullard blackmailing Luke at me? Are you for real? Yes. Damn.
Hey, come on, say it up to him.
Then answer me this. The blackmail letter contains the following passage. You don't want your identity revealed to the world. Yes, it very clearly does. Kane Bullard threatened to make Luke Atney's identity public knowledge. An identity he wanted to keep a secret? Just what was that identity?
Let me kill Kane Bullard because he was afraid of his own secret becoming known. What was the identity he wanted to keep secret? That's what it all comes down to, Nick.
The identity that Luke Atney wants so desperately to keep a secret is his identity as... a blackmailer? I guess? An ace detective? I mean, that's public knowledge. Well, not so public knowledge, but he wants it to be public knowledge. He's not masked to mask, so it had to be a blackmailer. Luke Atney was a blackmailer.
Objection!
Objection? Hey now, is that a little different from what you've been saying? You said that Kane Bullard was the one blackmailing Luke Atney. I think that Atney was blackmailing someone else on top of that.
You have to admit that sounds a little odd.
It's not odd. It's nothing that makes any sense.
Kane Bullard was blackmailing Luke Atney.
But Ron DeLight was also being blackmailed by a certain someone.
So did you start receiving blackmail letters after this incident? Yeah, just a few days after the Tear of Emmenon heist. After that, I started getting plans in the mail. I received plans from some very kind person. Incredibly detailed plans.
Detailed plans? In which case that would mean that Ron DeLight was actually masked to mask.
That is what we are claiming. Someone else came up with the plans and had Mr. DeLight steal his targets for him.
And that someone was other than Luke Atney.
Shh! Silence! Now I see, it's all becoming clear.
What is?
You were in grade school and you received the same report card every year. Careless, with a tendency to jump to conclusions. Am I wrong?
How did you?
You said Luke Atney, was blackmailing Ron DeLight. In which case, I would naturally know all about his relation to Master Mask.
Well, yeah.
Ron DeLight started receiving plans from his second crime onward, correct? Which means, I learned of his identity when he committed that first crime.
Good point. You certainly couldn't have blackmailed him otherwise. In that case, let's see some hot, bitter evidence. During that first crime, how did Luke Atney know that Ron DeLight was masked to mask? The newspaper, right? They were both kind of in the same area at the same time. I think I see it.
See what?
When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Gets in lots of mischief trying to be the center of attention.
What do you mean?
This newspaper clipping. There's a picture of you and Ron DeLight in his guard uniform. Seems that mask to mask didn't just disappear into thin air. He just took off his outfit and hid it in a bucket. That sounds far too stupid to be true. Correct. Tricks like that, he couldn't fool a baby, let alone an ace detective. That's when you figure it out, Mr. Atney. And that's when you learn that under his mask, the mask to mask was really Ron DeLight. What the? Wasn't he supposed to be mask to mask? Not only that, I think he wasn't even an ace detective. I can't believe it. It's just slimy blackmailer. What a fraud! I have to pass himself off as an ace detective.
Why you? How dare you expose me like that? Why I mean, I've never blackmailed anyone in my life! I am a famous and ace detective and was also Master Mask! Why can't you understand that?
I'm afraid you are neither a proud thief nor an ace detective. You're a blackmailer and a murderer. That is your true identity.
Why you? How dare you even dare? Some of those big values. I say none of you compared to the G's. It's just so good. Yes, detective cannot handle black with a benefit. It's enough to make one laugh.
A lot of words. That goes way too fast for me to read. It would seem we've finally arrived at the real answer.
Fellas, quite a performance by Mr. Atney.
Bailiff, please prepare a cell for Mr. Atney.
Objection.
Hi. Can I help you?
What's up, dude? Is it good? The hammer that strikes too fast has no time to aim. What do you mean? I'm already prepared to deliver my ruling. Allow me to say one thing. I will be the one to judge.
You don't get much more in your face than that.
It appears that your claws weren't quite sharp enough, Mr. Triton.
What do you...
It's true that you've proven a lot of things. Things like Luke Atney was a filthy blackmailer, and that he wasn't at Lord Taylor at the night of the murder.
That's right! That's why he was the one who killed Mr. Bolt.
But there's still one thing you have yet to prove. What's that?
Just because he wasn't at the warehouse doesn't mean he was at the murder scene.
Therefore, if you can't prove that this pitiful excuse for a man was at KB security, then I don't see how a verdict can be delivered.
No way!
Order in the court. Round, Mr. Wright.
This is it. This is the final round. Gotta prove that Atney was at Mr. Bullard's office on that night. But you don't get to prove that?
That's long enough, Mr. Trite. I want to hear your answer.
That night, Luke Atney was at KB Security in the defense? I don't even know where to begin with trying to prove that. Only thing I could think of would be the list, but that doesn't have anything to do with this. I don't think we can. I can't prove it.
Just as I thought.
I probably should have saved it for that. But, we hear more Detective Atney's testimony.
Objection.
Unfortunately, that's as far as you go, Mr. Trite.
What do you mean?
I won't allow for any more testimony, that's what I mean.
What?
Have you forgotten? Luke Atney is here after we interrupted his own trial. You have failed to prove that he committed the murder. I think it's time for this witness to return to his own trial. Face his guilty verdict as Master Mask.
No. Well now, Sir Lawyer. It seems that love wins out in the end after all. I am the ace detective as well as Master Mask. My verdict will verify that. Says Rhonda Lights will verify that he is the true murderer. I declare that with the full force of my ace detectiveness.
Order in the court. It's enough deliberation over this witness.
I can't believe this. This right, Ronis. Give up now, Nick. You still have tomorrow. We can look for more evidence, and by then it'll be too late. Huh? But why?
Because once he's convicted, that's it. Double jeopardy. One of the basic rules of any court of law.
Double jeopardy?
What is the name? The defendant be tried and found innocent in court. A defendant cannot be tried again for the same crime. This is a fundamental rule of all courts. It applies to this witness as much as it applies to anyone else. Mr. Atney will be found guilty in a matter of minutes. Guilty as Master Mask. Means he will be innocent as far as the murder of Kid Bullard is concerned.
No way.
The fact that you were able to prove Mr. Atney's guilt of that crime here is that he will never again be tried as Kane Bullard's murderer.
What? What? Now, there's nothing I can possibly do to win. Even if Ron is proclaimed to be innocent. Real killer Luke Atney will go free.
You've cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today. And as long as there's no more testimony, I'm afraid I have to declare that there will be no further questioning of this witness. Are there any objections?
Ah!
Was that number 17? Then, I hereby end the cross-examination of Luke Atney.
I think I see it. Is that Mia? Your Honor, when you were a child, this is what was on your report card every year. Has poor hearing and often makes mistakes as a result.
How did you?
Phoenix, raise your head up high. Have you forgotten what I used to tell you? A lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets. It is Mia. That voice. No way! No time no see, Phoenix. Mia? This is the true power of the crane channeling technique. I know that it's really Maya who's standing before me, but right now, she's my mentor, Mia Fey. Now, let's do this. But there's something more we can do, Mia. I need more testimony I can't cross-examine. Not yet. The testimony's not over yet. What do you mean? Your Honor, just now you said something very interesting. You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today.
Yes, that's true, but...
Unfortunately, Your Honor, you're forgetting something. Earlier, after the last cross-examination, the witness made a number of remarks. But now, Sir Lawyer, seems that love wins out in the end after all. Yes, detective as well as Master DeMasque. My verdict will verify that. Because Ron the Light will verify that he is the true murderer. I'll look at that with the full force of my ace detectiveness.
Yes, but his comments appear to have no importance whatsoever.
Very well. We shall prove their importance via cross-examination. At any rate, as long as the witness has made these remarks, we, the defense, assert our right to question them. Is that all right with you, prosecutor?
Is something the matter, Mr. Godot?
Nothing. Oh, Sir Lawyer, looks like you're one step too late. This falsehood will do anything to me. Look at...
Let's hear it.
Huh?
It's true that the witness made some remarks. So then, let's hear the last bit of cross-examination.
Mr. Godot, what are you...
Very well then, Mr. Look at me. I'm going to allow the defense to cross-examine your earlier remarks.
The defense would like to hear why you declared the defendant to be the true murderer.
So please, give us one last bit of testimony.
Phoenix, this is it. It's our absolute last chance. Yes, Chief. The last testimony. Indeed, it is true that I was not at Lord Taylor. I had to leave to see about another vitally important job request. I knew about the date beforehand, so I had this photograph ready. My brilliant deduction was what informed me that the true culprit was Ron the Light. And thanks to this keycard and wallet, it was abundantly clear that he was also there. I was also able to make a deduction from the buzzer. It only sounded once. The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? The victim would have left prints if he sounded, which means the killer sounded it. Mr. Light was wearing his Master DeMasque outfit, which is why he left no prints. And the blackmail letter, the victim likely just mistook the color of the jewel. His body! Therefore, all the evidence points to that poor boy. This suspect actually seems to hold up pretty well.
The witness's very remarks do not appear to have been hastily prepared. All of his points have been explained, and none of them seem to contradict anything.
But of course!
But how did you know about the emergency buzzer?
The police investigation documents went directly through me. And I always look over all the documents. It's elementary, Sir Lawyer.
Are you going to make even more trouble for us now, Sir Lawyer? I will not allow any of your usual shenanigans, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor.
You cannot postpone Lucatmi's trial any longer. This is your last chance.
Hang on a sec. Just one chance?
Huh. It seems that the party's about to begin.
Well, Phoenix, there isn't any evidence that contradicts with this testimony. So it would seem. What do you mean, so it would seem? Listen, Phoenix, putting out contradictions doesn't always mean you have to present evidence, does it? At any rate, this is our last chance. If you can't point out a case-breaking contradiction, you lose. That's all there is to it.
Cup number 17. The last cup. Seems like the time has come to put an end to this trial.
I have to find a fatal contradiction in his testimony. And I need to point it out without presenting evidence. Which means, all I can do is find the contradictory remark and press it. Remember, you only get one chance.
Well then, Mr. Wright, please begin your final cross-examination.
We are going to save, because I don't like this. This is a lot of tension. There's not a Bobby Taylor. Oops. Well, I had to leave to see about another vitally important job request. I had known about the date beforehand, so I had this photograph ready. The pretty introduction was what informed me that the true culprit was Ron the Light.
The key card in the wallet was coming here. Also, able to make a deduction on the bus, I wish I said it once. I don't know how fingerprints on why the victim would have left prints. The letter was wearing their outfit. The back of the letter, the victim was just cutting the jewel. Therefore, all the evidence points to that poor boy. Does it really, though? I don't know about that. I don't know if all of it does. Definitely a lot of it, but not all of it. Let's... This is true. Wait. How would he know that? Didn't hear that testimony. He was in the other courtroom. How does he know he was in the DeMasque outfit? He would have no idea. Mr. Atme, about this last remark.
Objection.
You still don't get it, do you, Trite? This isn't the time to be pressing the witness on every little statement. I'm afraid you're the one who doesn't get it, Mr. Goodell. What? Mr. Atme, you have finally admitted that you were in the CEO's office on the night of the murder. How can you say that? Let's review your testimony, shall we, Mr. Atme? The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? Mr. Delight was wearing his DeMasque outfit. Is that correct? Indeed. That's what I said. My deductions are absolutely foolproof. Like your deductions prove that you're a fool. I'm sorry. Whatever do you mean? For some reason, I'm starting to get really thirsty. When exactly did we learn that? The fact that Ron Delight was dressed as DeMasque when he went to the scene of the crime? That was... it was just a few hours ago. Back when my sixth cup was looking at me with a cold stare. Oh, did I forget to mention it before? I'm sorry, I just never had a chance to mention it up until now. That's right. The defendant had yet to tell anyone else his facts before this morning. Therefore, the only people who should know about it were the... who should know about this are those who have been watching this trial. Yeah. Do you understand now, Detective Atme? There's no way that you should have known about that. You're in the next courtroom being tried as DeMasque. But enlighten us. Just how did you know about that piece of information? Well...
Objection.
Come on, this detective must have known about it. He probably had plenty of chances to find out beforehand. And it's those chances that I want to discuss next. At night, Mr. Delight was wearing his DeMasque outfit. There's one and only one way for Detective Atme to have found that out. Only one? One way, you say? Please recall, if you will, Mr. Delight's testimony. When he entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there. For a second, my client witnessed the real killer. But Mr. Delight never saw his attacker. There was no way to tell whether or not the real killer was Luke Atme. It's with that statement that I'll turn this case on its head. Just what are you implying? Mr. Delight saw the real killer, correct? Now, if you turn that statement around, it stands to reason that the real killer had also seen Ron Delight. Impossible. Well, it's very possible. It was him. His body. Detective Atme, you saw Master Mask at the murder scene that night. You saw him when you killed Kane Bullard and assaulted Ron Delight. That was the only way you could have known what Ron was wearing. I'm sorry, are you powering up? Take a good look, everyone. Able to find a rival worthy of my genius, I was forced to create one by myself. Here I am, the tragic clown. That's the same one you gave yesterday. But I think there's a little more meaning behind it this time. What an awfully complicated incident. Kane Bullard was blackmailing Luke Atme, who was in turn blackmailing Ron Delight. Upon killing his black matter, Luke Amy tried to frame Ron Delight. He then claimed to be guilty of his Master Mask in order to escape his true crime.
And to that end, came up with this plan. He used the double jeopardy rule when making his alibi.
At any rate, it would seem we finally found the truth.
Excuse me?
I came fast and close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man. Besmirching him with the title of murderer.
Don't ignore me!
Oh, I didn't realize you were there.
Why wouldn't he be? About the verdict?
I know. You've never committed any murder.
That's right. I'm sorry to understand that, but... I really am estimated.
Oh?
But it's not a trial yesterday. I'm innocent now, right? What was it said? Double jeopardy?
Now that you mention it, I've been careless.
Careless. What do you think, Mia? As the defendant says, double jeopardy is absolute. The defendant can never be tried twice for a crime in which he was once found innocent.
Then,
Master Mask is really innocent? It would seem so. For now. For now?
now then, this court finds the defendant not guilty.
Yeah, woo! That took an hour and 40 minutes. Jeez. A long case, or a long trial. Boy, this is really lucky. Wait, here, this is so good after all. You see, the thing is, I still have Master Mask after all. October 14th, 3:35 p.m. District Court. Defendant Lobby number 4. You did it, Phoenix. Thanks, Mia. It's been a long time, hasn't it? Yeah, because Maya doesn't call on me much these days. Oh? I'm just joking, Phoenix. Don't take everything so seriously. But on the other hand, Maya, I'm kind of torn these days. You mean about becoming the master of the Korean channeling school? Becoming the master and saying goodbye to our mother. Misty Faye, right? Push over her, will you, Phoenix? Of course! Oh, see you around. Mr. Wright? I don't know what to say. Congratulations, Mr. Delight. Thank you so much. No, wait. Nothing really matters anymore, though. That all of this has happened. Come on, just be happy already. Maya? You've been cleared of the murder charges and got off as Master Mask to boot. But, in exchange, I lost everything. Huh? What do you mean? Missing security information from KB Security? Becoming Master Mask? I did it all for one reason. Her.
You mean your wife, Desiree?
She hates criminals more than anything.
Come to think of it, she was once held hostage by some robbers, wasn't she?
She always said how she hated sneaky criminals. I knew that, but if I got fired from KB Security and lost all the money I had, she wouldn't have had any reason to stay with me. Thought she would leave me for sure.
But that's why you became Master Mask?
Yeah, but it's all over now. Broken Bowl can never be put back together. That's not true, right, Nick?
Right!
Really? The way things were? You'll be fine, and Nick can prove it.
I can?
I kinda wish you would check with me first. But Mr. Delight, even if a bowl is broken, there's always a way to put it back together.
I assume they're referring to
the Sacred Urn. The Sacred Urn? Desi was the one who found this.
Desiree, your wife.
She's always believed in you, Ron.
That's why you'll find you don't have to worry about anything.
Oh, there you are.
Miss Delight.
You did it, Ronnie. You're innocent. I'm so happy. Thank you. I appreciate that. I suppose you don't want anything more to do with me, do you? Ronnie, why don't you talk to me about what was going on? I had no idea you'd quit KB Security. Never imagined that you were really Master Mask either. Miss Delight, what are you going to do now? You're not going to really leave him, are you? Come on. It's obvious, isn't it? How could I ever let a wonderful man like him get away? Well, the bike's really fast. So fast that there's no way he could ever get away. Did you say you hate criminals? Oh, I only hate people who act all cowardly and sneaky. Like a detective.
I see.
Ronnie went and declared his crimes before he committed them, like a man. Just love a man who's so chivalrous. Chivalrous? I know I was right about you. Every day I spend with you is filled with thrills and excitement. Desi? Their voices are the same. I'm sorry. Desiree? You really do love Ron, don't you? Nicky boy. Yes? I'm glad I asked you to defend my Ronnie. Thank you so much. Never forget what you've done for us. Oh, well, take care of yourself. You too, Nicky boy. Yeah, I can feel my face going red. Mr. Maya, congratulations! Talk about bad timing. Mr. Nick, how could you? Another man's wife in front of Mr. Maya? No, you got it wrong. I'll never forgive you. Never, ever. So, just as the case came to a close, so too did my consciousness. Ron said a broken bowl can never be put a broken bowl can never be put back together. But I know that's not true. I mean, just look. Aw, that's really cute, actually. Look at cute artwork. Here's a perfect example of one that was put back together, even better than before. I just gotta get all the paint off of it. Episode 2, Stolen Turnabout. The end. Oh my god. I love it. Wait a second. Who is that in the bottom right? Is that who I think that is? Also, what about this dude in the top or with the scouter? Recipe for Turnabout. Alright, let's save our progress. That's who I think that is in the bottom right. Oh boy. I didn't have a voice for them, a proper voice for them, so this will be interesting. They were kind of like a one-note, not really one-note, but they were like a one-time character. Kind of showed up and then did nothing. I don't want to say nothing, but they were for a tutorial case. So, you know how it be. It do be like that sometimes. Alright. Well, I guess let's get into this new case. I don't particularly need to go grab my water.
Well, that's enough. This court sees no reason to further prolong the trial. This case is extremely clear. I see no room for misinterpretations of the facts.
It wasn't me. I swear it wasn't me.
The evidence and testimony we've seen and heard are conclusive. The victim was alone at his table when he drank from that.
No, you're wrong. I know what I saw. I saw... This was someone else there. A man. He's the real killer. Looks like Phoenix. But like, jacked. Like, ripped Phoenix. Why don't anyone believe me? A very cute cop, or, teacup. Well, that pretty much wraps this case up, wouldn't you? Mr. Wright?
Well, the court finds the defendant guilty.
I'm sorry, what?
This court is adjourned.
What just happened? January 6th, 10:03 a.m., right in Coal offices. Ah! Sort of a new year always makes me feel like I take on the whole world.
I bet it does, Maya.
So, I decided that our resolution should be... Sorry! Take on the world. What do you think?
Sure, whatever, Maya.
But I think that maybe you've had more than enough of mistletoe cake. Never! I'm gonna eat a lot of cake during New Year's. It's practically a tradition. Like watching the fireworks on TV or playing a board game.
Hey, pal!
Detective Gumshoe. Happy New Year, Detective!
Likewise. That's enough, right? I wanna...
Here's to another fruitful year of lawyer-police cooperation.
Yeah, me too. Alright, pal. You got some explaining to do.
Have you got a holiday present for me, Detective?
What? Well, here, have this. It's really nothing much, but...
Yay! Hey!
Look, pal, we need to have a talk. Take a seat.
Hey, what about Pearlie? You haven't forgotten her present, have you?
No, I mean, yes, I mean, no,
Are you doing this to me on purpose?
Haha, guess I'm busted. How did you like my first practical joke of the year?
Very funny, pal. Now, let's see how funny you think it is when I show you this.
What is it?
A magazine?
Hey, I want to see. Deadly poisoning brings guilty verdict. Defense attorney Wright trounced?
Drowns? Let me see that.
The defense attorney gave an almost childishly amateur performance yesterday. What the heck is this?
Hey, it's a report, pal. About you.
Listen to this. Mr. Wright must take full responsibility for the ruling in this case.
Well? And don't tell me you don't remember anything about it.
But I don't remember anything about it. When was this issue from anyway?
December of last year, which I guess makes it last month.
Which makes it old news. You mean...
But I wasn't involved in a poisoning case in December.
So what do you think this is all about, Nick?
If it wasn't you, pal, then well, there's only one possibility.
No way. You don't mean... A phony, Nick? This must be Gumshoe's idea of a joke. Unless he's starting off the year with one, too. Magazine clipping added to the court record. An article from December 5th says I was trounced and my client was found guilty.
So, what are you gonna do about it, pal?
What do you mean? What am I gonna do about it? Well, it's your fault that the judge found the defendant guilty in this case.
My fault?
How do you figure that? Because the Phoenix Wright is super famous now. Well, maybe only sort of.
Yeah, see what happens when you hotshots start getting too full of yourselves?
But I didn't do anything wrong. At least, if I can remember.
Better make this right, pal. Now. And that means taking the case back to the court, got it?
Sounds like we got our first case of the new year. Back up with gusto.
I don't know.
The judge already issued a guilty verdict once in this case. Not gonna be easy to get it overturned. I guess that New Year's resolution is going to have to wait until next year.
So you're taking the case, right? Good. I'm gonna head over to the courthouse then. After that, I'll go back to the precinct. Drop by if you need something, okay, pal?
Yeah, I guess people are starting to know the name Phoenix Wright. The client entrusted a case to me based on my reputation. I guess I am kind of responsible. But why would someone want to impersonate me? What a guy would do that? I guess my observation was a little bit better than I thought it would be. Okay. I guess... Criminal Affairs Department. January 6th, Police Station, Criminal Affairs Department. It's been ages since we came down to the precinct, huh, Nick? Well, looks like Gumshoe isn't around. It's kind of so easy leaving everyone else to do with the work. No, he's out there somewhere. Well, I bet it was on the courthouse. Probably trying to arrange the retrial of this case. Guess that means we should go to the detention center and chat with our killer, huh? For being convicted without a fair trial? I'm not sure killer is the right label. Well, let's go talk to our victim of false trial. January 6th, detention center, visitor's room. It's so nerve-wracking getting to meet a new client. I wonder just what kind of person you tricked and got found guilty. Keep it down, Maya. How to talk and ruin me. Ah! How could you, Mr. Wright? How could you do this to me? Put me in solitary. I haven't even been able to stop crying. Aren't you? Yes, I am. I'm totally and utterly let down. Ah, are you? I pretend you don't know me. It's me, Maggie. Remember? Maggie Bird? Maggie Bird. Oh. It was her. Wow, that's a cute outfit for her. Look at her. Adorable. Maggie Bird. This police woman that I defended that one time. She was accused of murdering her lover. He was a cop, too. What are you doing in here? Didn't I get you acquitted? Oh, sure, very funny. That fifth-rate defense job, you come in here and start making jokes. Better hurry up and tell her what happened, Nick. Oh, I see. So, that's where we stand right now. I'm sorry you've been caught up in another murder. My whole life has been nothing but a whirlwind of bad luck and failures. I don't remember saying the exact same thing last time. But I don't mind. That's one more disaster in my life. At least now the real Mr. Wright is here with me. I won't let the world keep me down, sir. Alright. So, how come you're dressed like that, Maggie? Last year you looked so sharp in the police uniform. Agreed. Just fired after that incident last year. Oh, I'm sorry. It's okay, I don't mind one bit. I enjoyed being on the force, but I think it was time for me to move on.
So, what do you do now? In the second act of The Life of Maggie Bird, I'm playing the role of a waitress. A waitress? Yeah, in a French restaurant. It's a small place, but it's quite fashionable. My charming smile and shapely figure came through for me. And the owner, Mr. Armstrong, hired me straight away, sir. And then you got into this mess straight away, right? Yeah, you could put it that way. What happened? The whole mess started on the 3rd last month. It happened at Très Bien? Très Bien? Yes, it's a restaurant where good service and friendly smile are always included. Oh. There were 2 men at the table, both drinking coffee. And then... the men slipped some poison in the victim's cup. The victim just took one sip and was gasping for air. I was so shocked I passed out. Hey, hold on there, Maggie. What? You keep calling the guy the victim. Didn't you know the guy who was killed? But not at all. I'd never seen the guy before. Oh. So she wouldn't have had a motive to kill him then, I guess. And the other man, the killer, you saw him, right? Of course! The good waitress must be attentive to their clientele. Oh, I suppose. So, you saw the killer, but you were found guilty of the crime anyway? How come? You tell me, Mr. Wright! Yeah, the answer to my question is my phone. Anyway, she saw the killer. Better see if I can get the description of the guy. So, if you saw the murderer, why were you still convicted? Because no one else saw. Saw what? The other man, the one who put the poison in the victim's coffee. Everyone testified that way. Mr. Armstrong, customer, everyone. The victim was sitting alone at his table the whole time. But how's that possible? I don't know, but nobody, not one person would believe me, sir. Even Phoenix Wright, my one last hope for a fair trial, failed me. No pathetic defense. My granny could have done a better job. Look, that wasn't me, okay? And then... you put something a bit incriminating in my apron pocket. What? A small bottle of poison. What? The poison? It was in your pocket? Well, I passed out when the victim collapsed. The killer must have slipped the poison into my pocket when I was unconscious. No one else saw the other guy? No, sir. That's what everyone said, but I don't see how they could have missed him. Oh. I was the one who took the coffee to the 2 men. Oh. And what was your impression of them? Well, when I first saw them, I kind of thought they might be on the music industry. Music? How come? Well, one of them had some sort of earpiece and an emo musician's look about him. There was a sample CD on the table, sir. An earpiece and a sample CD, huh? Did you get a look at the CD at all? It had a band's name written on it. I think it was MC something. It must have been preparing for the debut, I guess. This was a band CD. Maybe a promo disc? Maybe it was MC Screwdriver. Get serious, Maya. Buy the CD of a group named that. Yeah, what was the name of that group again? MC Hacksaw? No, MC... What about the killer? What did he look like? No, I don't really remember. That he was a young man. Well built like the victim, really. Well, we don't have any evidence. We're in the magazine clipping, so... only a lot to go off of here. Oh, and Gumshoe's not back. We need a description, though. Oh, you know, maybe... No? There's a Très Bien. He's found guilty of murder thanks to a phony me. I mean, I guess we could present her the clipping, right? Something we have. Oh, yeah, I need to ask you about this. Hey, this article about my case! Can you tell me anything about the guy who was pretending to be me? Yes, sir. It was the morning after I'd been arrested. I met you in the visitor's room here. You were wearing one of your super sharp suits. Me? Yeah, you, Mr. Wright. Hey, Maggie? Was my evil double Ayam here, too? No, I don't remember phoning you, Maya. Oh, that would have been so cool. Then you got really worked up and passionate. I'm gonna get you cleared of this crime, you see? As you said. Okay, I get the picture, but You've met me in person before. So how come you didn't realize that guy wasn't the real me? I guess, looking back now, it was a little strange. Only a little? Well, okay, so you were a bit taller than normal, and you looked a bit shady, and your voice was a bit weird. Oh, and you had this kind of funny accent, and so the guy was nothing like me then. But you had your spiky hair and blue suit. Is that all it takes for someone to imitate me? Yeah. How about everyone else in the courtroom, like the judge and the observers? Didn't they realize he was an imposter? And there's big question marks on their faces. But it seemed like no one wanted to say anything, sir. This case just keeps getting weirder and weirder. Mr. Wright, do you think it's possible to get a retrial? A retrial? Probably. The court ruled on the absence of a genuine defense attorney. So, we should be able to get a retrial. Mr. Wright? Do you think we'll win next time, sir? My life has been a full course meal of bad luck, complete with defeat for dessert. I was 6 months old when I fell from the 9th floor of my apartment building. Been hit with all sorts of vehicles, gotten sick from all sorts of foods. Failed at almost every test I've taken, experienced almost every kind of disaster. I landed a phony lawyer when I had the misfortune of being accused of murder. But I will survive because Maggie Bird always lives to fight another day. One day, I'll find it. Just you wait and see, sir. I'll find that one single moment of good luck. Oh, I see. It's Phoenix backwards. Zinyof? Yop. It's really gonna pay for this. What are you staring at me like that for? Mine's right. Whoever it was that thought it was a good idea to use my name. To get an innocent girl convicted of murder had better watch out. Find him. Don't you worry. We'll get Zinny up for you. Thank you. Oh, I'll tell you where Trey Bien is then. Right, wait, the restaurant where the took place. Yes, sir. When you go, please tell Mr. Armstrong I said hi. There, alright, Nick. Let's check this restaurant and its food. For anyone that doesn't know, Trey Bien means very good. So I wonder if that restaurant is very good. Anyways, I want to see if Gumshoe's back yet. He is not. All right. Into Trey Bien. January 6th. Trey Bien. Oh my god, this music. Who are you? Wow, this place. Look, more like smell. Look at the suffocating scent of flowers in here. And again, girls like that kind of thing, right? Actually, I'm not all that into it. No one's coming to see us. Maybe there's someone here. Don't be silly, Maya. This is a restaurant. It's open for business. Hello? Anyone here? I don't believe it. I don't think there's anyone here. Perfect. Good intrusive. If there's no one here, we can take anything we want. Yeah, I suppose we can. Well, let's examine. Magazines. Rack full of fashion magazines. They're all in French. I should try wearing something a bit more chic next time, huh, Maya? Yeah, I guess I could. I'm always in my act like clothes, aren't I? It'd be fun to wear normal clothes every now and then. Huh? Something stuffed in behind the rack. Like a sports paper to me. Hey, look at this! Someone scribbled a little doodle on one of the pages. MC Bomber and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros? $100,000? Maybe? I wonder what MC Bomber is supposed to be. This paper. From December 3rd. This paper's from the day of the poisoning. What? Oh. Dates from December 3rd. Day of the incident. Oh, Trey Bien. Paper from the day of the murder? That's got to be a clue. I should see if I can find out some more about this paper. Alright, I'm gonna be real. How has that newspaper been stuffed back there for over a month? It's been a month and a couple of days since the trial, and it's just sitting there. Whoops. Kinda figured that would... Okay. This restaurant's front entrance. There's a sign hanging on the door written in French. It probably says open or closed. It must be one or the other, but I don't know which one since... I don't know jacks about French. Oh, ha ha ha. It's funny, because it's a French name. Jacques. Look, it's one of those magical boxes that spits out money. You know, The only person who would ever describe a cash register in that way. Look at all the little trinkets tucked away in here. I bet Mr. Armstrong collected all of these personally. Let's see, a bouquet of flowers, some potpourri. Look! Fine bone china cups. Never knew you were so cultured. Come on, Maya. This is common knowledge. Any Joe Schmo knows this much. Uh-huh. Yep. I know all that. Definitely. Check for the fashion magazines all in French. More chic. Oh, supposed to have been the record. Pretty sure to find out everything I can about it. Alright, well, let's take a look over here. Let's see if there's anything up. Oh, there's something here. Wow! It's like a Winter Wonderland out there. Really? Cool, I love snow. Let me see. Huh? It's not white. It's not even snowing. Got you. I wasn't kidding, Maya. Nick! There are lies that are okay to tell and lies that are definitely not. What if I was telling an itty-bitty white lie about non-existent white snow? This table set nicely. It just needs a customer. What do you think this flower is, Nick? Let's see... it's more like a tulip, and it's not a sunflower, I don't think. Duh, even I could have told you that. Well, those are the only kinds of flowers I know. Heck, nabbit, I'm a lawyer, not a botanist. This is true. This restaurant has partitions that separate the tables. When you're seated at a table, you can only see the tables to your right and left. It's supposed to be the table where the murder occurred. I guess so, with all this police tape all around it. That stain must be from the poisoned coffee. Don't go licking that tablecloth, okay, Maya? But why would I lick it? I'm not a cat, you know. Why can I picture you doing just that? Honestly... same. That seems to be everything. Okay. Also, why is the police tape still up? Like, what's going on here? Let's see if Maggie knows anything about the paper. I assume she does because it has MC Bomber, which I assume is the band. Oh, sports paper! Let's see. Did Gustin Braun manage to defend his heavyweight title? Sorry, Maggie, that paper is actually a month old. It's from the day of the murder. And Gustin got knocked out yesterday, I'm afraid. Oh, no. I found this paper in the magazine rack at Trade the End. Really? That's strange. Maybe he doesn't get newspapers. Mr. Armstrong says he's not really fond of them. Maybe one of the customers had put behind. Anyway, what I want you to take a look at is the scribble here. Aha! That's it, sir! MC Bomber. That was the name of the name written on the CD. As I thought. I guess it wasn't MC Screwdriver after all, huh? So that $100,000 must be down payment for the record deal, right? Someone gave me $100,000, I'd sing for sure. A master Karainer, the spirit songer, even Maya's theme. Okay, Maya. So sample CD was on the victim's table. That means this newspaper may have belonged to the victim. You're right. So the victim left this behind on the day of the murder. Huh. I think we better step up the investigation, don't you, Nick? I agree. Well, let's step it up then. Okay, January 6th, Très bien. Oh la la, bonjour, welcome to Très bien. Oh, hello? What happened to Maya? She's frozen stiff. Oh my god. Oh my god, I love it. I love it. Oh my god, this is the best. Oh my god. This is, I think, the best thing I've ever seen. Super Jack Rip Man in this pose with that makeup. Oh, it's great. He is the best, hands down. They are the best. I'm not really too sure. Well, this was made in like 2004, so it's 99% a he. Beyond you, welcome to my petite restaurant. Huh? Beat Avenue? Oh non, my petite tulip. Huh? Me? Look at his face. Like the kitten rejected by his own mother. You fatigued, not? Allos, you need this.
an aromatic bath oil melange of La Neroli and La Rose. My personal recommendation. You think any what? Oui, just add a couple of drops of this mixture in la bath water, and voila! It will soothe your body and your mind. It's simply fantastic. Really? And for la monsieur, monsieur. I took 2 years of French. You would never know. Who, me? Look at that face. Like la puppy attracted by life itself. You are fatigued, non? For you, monsieur, I recommend this. Oil for Pokemon. And maybe oui. I will add la peppermint and la clary sage for fragrance, etc. What an invigorating recipe will bring out your delicious beauty, monsieur. My beauty? Allos. If you will be seated, I will bring you a special menu of the day. Actually, we're not here to eat. We're lawyers. I bien so. I do this already, monsieur. You are La Phoenix, right, non? Yes, you know me? Oui. I never forget a man who first was me, especially in court. I guess he was cross-examined by a mysterious Zin Ya. It looks like everyone to do with this case knows who I am already. I wonder what sort of impressions Zin Ya's been leaving on people, don't you? Let me introduce myself to you again. I am John Armstrong from Chante. Oh, I love it. Très bien. What does très bien mean? I know très, that means 3, right? No. Très bien is Français, or Francois. In English, you would say very good. Oh, very good. Oui, exactement. The atmosphere is très bien, and la cuisine is très bien. The food's so good, why aren't there any customers in here? My cuisine is not wrong. Some people say do not appreciate la hot cuisine. But everyone liked hot cuisine. Since I have lost Maggie, I do not have enough hands. So you're not running this place on your own right now? Oui. Hold on a moment. No one has answered my advertisement. Oh, poor moi. Please don't eyeball me while you say that. I am the chef, I am the manager. I am also a trained aromatherapist. Meaning what? A particular practitioner of aromatherapy. The art of soothing the soul is the delicate floral aromas. Look at the smell coming from that bottle earlier was anything but. Well, you know how the French are. That sounds really bad, actually. What is it? Like the French really love very smelly, very pungent smells, rather, right? Not necessarily in a bad way, right? But like, just very aggressive smells, right? Like a very pungent rose. It still smells good, but man, is it a lot. I don't know why I'm trying to dig this hole more. So, what you know about the incident? Bien. It makes me sad to remember it, yet I remember it so well. More than a month has passed since it happened. Yeah, I guess it's been about a month since Maggie's sentencing. So, it was the 3rd of last month, just after 1 in the afternoon. A man who was in here for a coffee suddenly became ill, because of the poison in his coffee. That is the truth, as I know it. It was Maggie who took his drink to him. I was in the kitchen. I heard the sounds of someone collapsing. When I came out to see what it was, he was already slumped in his chair. He was dead? Mon Dieu! Oui, he was dead. I get passed out also. This man who died, was he alone? Oui, monsieur. All alone. I know that Maggie said there was someone else, but... I see. The police asked me many times. Oh, you sure there was no one else at the table? They asked. But I am not the only one. The old man said the same thing. Old man? What old man? So this old man that you mentioned. At the time of the murder, there was another customer in here. What? Someone else saw it? My, oui. As usual, he came alone that day. At the time of the murder, he was here. He thought too. But he said the same thing.
that there was no one else at the victim's table. But Maggie swears there was 2 people. My, mademoiselle. Lawyer, he could not prove this. None? About the lawyer. That was me, I suppose? I bien, sir. Wow, he's the first person who said it wasn't me. Don't kid yourself, Nick. Now, still not making stuff up. Oh my god, I love... He's great, I love that. I don't think we can... talk to Gumshoe yet. Hi, Maggie. God, she's cute. Oh, no, not yet. Look at the blue badger. Oh, it's also a pink badger now, huh? I don't know when that happened. Okay. Well, I guess we could talk more to him. Maybe the paper? We found the sports paper in the magazine rack here. One of my customers must have left it behind. Do you have any idea which customer it was? It's the only idea I have, mademoiselle. I'd say for my teacher. What's wrong with therapy? What do you know about Maggie? Maggie was a policewoman once. N'est-ce pas? N'est-ce pas? Yeah, n'est-ce pas. Yes, but she had to quit for, reasons beyond her control. N'est-ce pas? What is n'est-ce pas again? I don't remember. I think it's like, I don't know. Oui, oui. She was a suspect in a murder investigation, no? Oh, do you know about that? Was that his... Oh yeah, I gave to la perfume for la happiness. Happiness perfume. Oui! Blended from bergamot, like I have given to you before. But she's been arrested again. Found guilty this time. This is true. Naturally, aroma's unhappiness must have been very strong. Just admit it, your perfume doesn't work. I am not surprised she was last prime suspect. After something like that took place before my very eyes. Something like what? What's this guy talking about? Does this mean Maggie did have a motive? We've got to ask this guy more info. Stat. For sure, for sure. Oh, now you took the coffee to the victim. Did anything happen? Oui. I suppose you could say so. So what happened? None. It was nothing. Look, Maggie said she didn't even know the guy. But she's still been indicted for murder. Prosecution must have come up with some kind of motive. Oui, it is true. If there was anything at all between Maggie and the victim, it could be relevant. So, please tell us anything you know. Oh. Oh. Cyclops? No way! What are we gonna do, Nick? We'll just have to remove... What the? What's wrong? The Bagatama. It's gone. Huh? I had it in my pocket, but it vanished into thin air. What? But I could see the Cyclops. Maybe that means the Magatama's nearby. Mr. Armstrong? Can I confirm something with you again? The table where the victim was sitting. Anyone else sitting there? That is a question you will have to ask him yourself. Huh? Him? Or him? Nah, old man. Spent all of his time down the park. The park? Oh, a park. What park's that? Behind a restaurant. It is called Vitamin Square. Thank you. Ça free, my dear. Go check out this Vitamin Square right now, Nick. Is the Magatama here? It's not. Okay. At least nothing has changed. I guess we'll go check out Vitamin Square. January 6th, Vitamin Square. And of course, it's a bunch of fruit. That makes sense. So this is Vitamin Square. Yeah, I see where they get the name from now. The fruits scream vitamins at you. Hey, Nick. That's the guy, right? What the old man Mr. Armstrong was talking about? That grouchy-looking grandpa? He's throwing seeds out for the pigeons. Maya, he's not throwing seeds for them. He's throwing seeds at them. Who are you? What is with your nose, dude? Grumping, his threat level has just been raised to red. Excuse me? Would you mind if I had a word with you? Yes. I just want to ask you a couple of questions.
What's the matter with you? You see I'm busy? So you're like my seeds, eh, pigeons?
He's chucking those seeds at them. It's gotta hurt.
Go on, eat this.
Excuse me, sir. Can I ask you about Maggie Bird?
I don't know any Maggie Bird.
Yes, you do. Maggie, the waitress at Trabian?
Ah, it's a disgrace, I tell you. Another disgrace.
Disgrace?
Hey, you ain't see a young girl revealing herself like that?
Revealing? You in her uniform?
The youth of today don't have any shame. No shame, I tell you. Not 1 ounce. Whatever happened to the old Bushido values of Japan, like honor and modesty?
What about me? I'm not wearing anything revealing.
You? The problem is you lack any sense of grace.
Talk about hitting a girl where it hurts. You go to Trabian a lot?
Huh. That miserable excuse for a restaurant. That garbage they serve in there is not food. There's the sushi, the tempura, the rice.
Trabian is a fresh restaurant, sir.
Where do you think we are, boy? In Paris? How about real food, not those snooty snacks? What about those shameless girls?
You mean the waitresses?
You can see all the way up to there. There. Yes, the waitresses. I'm practically naked. It's a disgrace, isn't it? Well, isn't it?
Listen, it's not my restaurant.
A miserable excuse for a restaurant, that place. Miserable.
Who knows the place? It must be a regular. It's so much. Why does he keep going? Are you a regular at the restaurant, sir? It's just, you just like it so much. Why did you keep going there?
Sir? Hey, you all you filthy pigeons. You want food? Haha, take that.
I'm going to change his voice at some point. Probably tomorrow, or on Tuesday. I'll probably change to something else. Because this hurts. But I'll just keep it going for now. He must be hiding something, right? Well, if he is, I should be able to see a Cyclops or two. Oh, wait. I don't exactly have the Magatama right now, huh? Remember, Nick, that Magatama's only on loan. You better find it or else. If Rose ever gets wind of this, I'm gonna be in the world of pain. Well... Well... This place is so fruity. Well, that's not a bad thing. Besides, I love apples. They're among my favorites. That apple cider is perfect for you. And what is so perfect about it? Oh, come on. Don't be stuck in the mud. Slide down it a few times. Go on. Woo! No way. Covered in sand if I sit down that slide. No one can see that. Yeah, you're right. Otherwise, I'd give it a try, too. What is this death march? These love sandboxes like you wouldn't believe. Really? You? Sure. Finding iron fillings in the sand with a magnet was my favorite thing to do. Iron fillings? Wow, that's too exciting for words. It was my ambition to collect every single shard of iron in the sandbox. I was such a kid back then. So, did you manage to get all the iron? No, never did. I came close, though. Come to think of it, I still have all the iron fillings I found way back when. You want them? No. I don't blame you, Phoenix. I wouldn't want them either. Birds! No clues here. Birds! Hey, look! Pigeons! Yeah, heaps of them, too. You know that pigeons are a symbol of peace? That's a duh, not a pigeon. Or things. They can't be symbols of peace and harmony just because they're gray? Is that it? You're overthinking this one by just a smidge, Maya. Why is there a white one? Okay, job listings? Yeah. Ooh, there's a magazine here. A magazine full of job listings.
You disgusting rogue picking up someone else's throwaway.
Threw away? Did you throw this away? You looking for a job?
Ah, that's none of your business.
Sorry, I guess I'll just take the magazine with me then.
I don't want anyone else having it. Give it back.
Too bad. Now that you want it so bad, I don't want to give it up. All those things added to the court record. Picked up from a bench by the square. Thrown away by the old man.
Hey, that's mine.
I'm sure it is. I mean, do you want it? Excuse me, sir. Can I ask you about this? Sir?
Here you go, boy. That's some pigeon pizza on you.
This wasn't exactly what I was hoping to get out of this guy. I guess he doesn't want it back. Nothing new here. Guess we move back to Trabian. Oh, I don't have a profile for him? Interesting. Yeah, I think I saw this at the magazine. Ooh.
Mademoiselle!
Yes?
Are you looking for a job?
What? No, no. I was just... Let me see. Your style is un peu different. But you'll have a good face. Okay? Felicitation? I'm gonna be real, I have no idea what that word is or how to pronounce it. Felicitations? Felicitation? I don't know. I took 2 years of French in high school. You have passed. I will hire you. Bien, come with me. I'll teach you everything I know. Everything I know. Nick? No! I don't know whether to laugh or feel bad for Maya. I think we should do both. Oh, okay. Well, bye, Maya. And she's gone. She has been kidnapped. Alright. Well, I guess we can go talk to, or not. So we have Maggie and questioning. I guess I've asked her pretty much everything. I'll come back if there's anything else I need to ask her later. Can I go talk to Gumshoe now? If she's in questioning, then they must have reopened the trial, right? 6 Police Station, Criminal Affairs Department. Well, pal, have you found any evidence yet? The one that's gonna find her innocent? No, not yet. We've only just started our investigation. Well, whatever you need to know, I'll give you the dirt on it. I'm putting off all my other cases for now, pal. He's really fired up about this. Oh, yeah, one more thing. Retrial's been approved. Court's sitting at 10 AM tomorrow. And Godot's gonna be the prosecutor. Oh. Him. Now, listen up, pal. If Maggie gets found guilty again... Yes? I'll make sure you get locked up for good. You got it? No problem, Gumshoe. So, the guilty party was Maggie Bird, huh? Yeah. I reckon she was on the police force. You were her mentor when she was a rookie, right? Yeah, I kept close eye on her. I mean, not too close, you know. Hey, what's with the funny looks, pal? I was just it wasn't anything like... Look, sure, I was her boss when she was doing her training. But that was it. None of that happened. I was sure it was fighting like a storm over nothing. Ah, so that's it. Big old Gumshoe's little crush on Maggie. I don't know. I don't like her or anything. I was... Let this help. Gossip with Maya about this later. Oh, look, pal, don't tell anyone, okay? You've got to keep it a secret, got it? Sure. Would you mind not guessing what I'm thinking all the time? Hey, tell your face, pal, not me. You have to be blind not to see what's on your mind. I just want to confirm something. 9-year gap. Kinda sus, but could be worse. At least she's 23. So I was wondering, did she fill me in on the victim? Laneld. He was a computer programmer. I see, a programmer. Hey, like me. He was just a regular Joe working for a small-time computer firm. Maggie never had any contact with the guy before that day. All she did was take him his coffee and on the day of the murder, pal. Yeah, he also claimed to have never seen the guy before. Did the victim go to the restaurant often? Yeah, not according to the chef. Said it was the first time he'd seen the guy. A programmer. The first-time customer at that. What's the reason could Maggie have had to kill a guy like that? That's what I thought, but the motive was still somehow established in the trial. You're kidding. What was her supposed motive? Sorry, pal, I'm real busy. I haven't even gotten enough time to sift through these papers. Look into yourself, okay? What could his motive have been? This isn't really a proper investigation. I'm kind of working on it by myself. Oh, that's right. The judge already ruled on the case, and all the evidence isn't already. The problem is with Maggie's testimony. Yeah, it doesn't sound very good for us, huh? Look, pal, I've got a man in the papers on this case to look over before tomorrow. So I'm just gonna say this. Maggie Bird's no liar. She's... Okay, she's a bit out there, and a bit off base sometimes. But she was a good cop. Not exactly complimentary, you know. So what do you think really happened? And just how contradictory is her testimony? The biggest problem with Maggie's testimony is the number of people at the table. Yeah, my thoughts exactly. Maggie's own sister was another guy sitting with the victim. Right, but get this. Everyone else in the place says the guy was alone, even the chef. And there's that CD. Oh yeah, she did mention something about the CD. There was a sample CD on the table, sir. But I guess turn that place upside down, there's no CD. What?
Not on the table, not anywhere in the whole restaurant, pal. But didn't Maggie say the victim was wearing an earpiece too? Yeah, but that's for the portable radio in the front pocket of the study. The radio? You didn't have a CD player? You got it. You only never explained that contradiction at all. Come to think of it. Well, Trey Bien didn't mention the CD either. I don't know why, but I get the feeling Mr. Armstrong's got something to hide. What do you know actually about him? Glenn Elg, the victim, was a programmer, but you've never even seen him before. Do you know about Mr. Elg? Not Mr. Mr. Armstrong. The chef Trey Bien, huh? That chef said to me, "Oh la la, your body is full of toxins." He gave me this bottle. What's in it? I don't know. The label says juniper. I'm under orders to put a few drops of it on my back every day. Under orders? Yeah, you know, there's something about that lady. I mean, guy. Huh? You can't stop thinking about him. Not like that, pal. Give me a break. He's not my type. I can't stop thinking that he's involved with this case somehow. I'm looking at a little something more about our charming chef. Ooh, does Gumshoe have a crush on the big, burly Frenchman? What exactly is it that caught your attention about the chef at Trey Bien? It's, kind of hard to say. It's probably not even connected with the case anyway. Hey, come on, detective. Didn't you say you'd give me the dirt on anything? Well, this sort of stuff is kinda unimportant, gossipy stuff, you know, pal? Look, how about this? You go to Trey Bien and investigate the place yourself. And if you find out anything suspicious about the guy, report back to me, okay? Don't suppose I get a choice on this, huh? Let's go find out more about the chef at Trey Bien and report back to Gumshoe. Alright. Well. Let's go find out then. Go back to Trey Bien. I wonder if he's on roping my end of things. That's not. Oh, you know what? I just realized I didn't present the paper to him. Yeah, with the stuff. What's that? The fourth paper? Yeah, I found it in the magazine rack at Trey Bien. It's dated the same day as the murder. Maybe onto something here. Hey, take a look at this. See the writing here? MC Bomber. Hey! What is it? I've heard of that name somewhere before. Hey, MC Bomber. Wow, he actually seems to be thinking for once. It's still good, I can't remember. And he goes back to being the Gumshoe we all know and love. Hey, pal, I'm gonna borrow this paper for a bit, okay? I want to get a handwriting analysis done on the scribble. Handwriting, huh? It'd be good to know more about that in any case. Thanks, pal. I bet this turned out to be an interesting clue. Fourth paper given to Detective Gumshoe. Right. Now let's go back. Let's see if they're back now. Aha! 36 Trey Bien. The flower sure is strong. It's almost making me dizzy. Who are you and why are you the best? Oh, hello? Who was that just now? A customer? There's such a dark aura about her. Ah, welcome, bienvenue! Oh, what a cute voice. Oh. It's just you, Nick. Maya? Well, how do I look? Great, actually. Maybe you should quit being a spirit medium. Maybe, but it's kind of boring being a waitress. I mean, you're my first ever customer. Who was that woman I just saw? Oh! Since you're here, you might as well have something to eat. What do you mean, what is this? Maya works at this restaurant, is what this is. With the crazy French... What am I doing? I'm playing Ace Attorney 3. What do you mean? What is the problem? I came to the cafe, the French cafe, mind you. Not a maid cafe, a French cafe. And Maya works here now. I guess. I am kind of hungry, actually. So, how do you like your new job, Maya? I never knew there was so much for a waitress to do.
Take people's orders, bring them their food, make coffee, work the cash register. And of course, get a customer before I can do any of that. Yeah, it's a nice-looking restaurant. It's a shame where people don't come. Don't forget about the ultra-cute waitress. Check out my gimme a tip smile. Phrasing. Honestly though, I would tip Maya. It's okay. Just to reiterate how okay it is, she's 19 in this game. That is an okay statement to make. Hey Nick, why don't you order something? The chef's preparing a tasty lunch set at the moment, or so he says. How much is it? It's the twin tea set, so it's $20. Of course. The twin tea set? I believe I'll be taking a pass on that. It's kind of expensive. What? But you can't! Come on, Nick. It's not every day you get to be a waitress. Or I get to be a waitress. I'm gonna try carrying the plates and working the cash register. What about cleaning up the toilets? That should keep you busy. Yeah, right. Maybe later. What about the lunch? Oh, a fine choice, sir. No, Kitchen, a lunch special, please! All the extras, drink, side salad, dessert, and gift. I don't need any of that. Just a moment, please, sir. Maya's really getting into this. How much was the set lunch then? $20? Huh? With the drink, side salad, and dessert. $45? Hey, wait a sec, Maya! Sorry to keep you waiting, sir. Here you are. Our deluxe Fortify lunch set? Stop. Stop. Whoa. It's inspired by lobster and abalone... Oh. Fricassee with a balsamic vinaigrette. Bon appetit. Thanks. Come on, Nick. Hurry up and try it already. Lobster, huh? Alright. Down the hatch it goes. Well? Are you hungry, Maya? I'm starving. Here, it's yours. Really? Remember, Maya, my wallet doesn't print money, so better polish off that plate. I just remembered, I've gotta clean the toilets. Hey! Can't be in that much of a hurry to clean the toilets. Maybe a lunch special added to the corner. Why? Let's be honest about how unbelievably bad it tastes. That's probably subjective. Though I also don't like seafood at all, so I would probably hate it too. That's like I managed to make good food. It tastes so bad. Hey, Nick, take a peek at the kitchen. The kitchen, huh? Not a bad idea. What was it that Maggie said again? In the kitchen, you'll get to see all of the chef's greatest secrets? In the kitchen? That sounds tasty. Hey, wait up, Maya! What is it? I'm pretty busy right now. Weren't you going to show me around? Yes. It was my plan to find some cool clue and show it off to your face. In your face. I better conduct my search in the kitchen myself. Well then, to the kitchen we go. Oh my god, everything is so pink and frilly, and I kind of love it. January 6th, Trabian Kitchen. And here it is, the famous Trabian Kitchen. My first time in here too, actually. There's a weird atmosphere in here, that's for sure. Mr. Armstrong will be back soon, so you better search quickly. Chop chop! Why did you search them? Now, I know I'm in a French restaurant, but I've never heard of most of these seasonings. Hey Nick, this container has oyster sauce? What's that? Isn't that used in Chinese food? Ah, look! Right there on the counter. And Mogatama, what's it doing here? What indeed? Mogatama put in pocket. One from Maya, recovered in the kitchen at the end. That's so weird. I didn't even see that, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a French restaurant, I've never heard of the seasonings. Yeah, one of those slices through a cheesecake. Cheesecake? I think I can need a sharp knife for one of those, Nick. Cheesecake is pretty good. That smells good. Something's bubbling away nicely in that pot. Let's see the lobster and abalone with a balsamic vinaigrette. Yeah. Is that what I just ate for lunch? Maybe. Charade is the only French dish I know the name of. That is understandable. I don't know any French dish names, aside from baguette. And oof, which is egg. What are these lace curtains for? I don't know. They give the place a real homey feel, don't they? These curtains. You know, if I was cooking pot, I'd be perfectly happy to sit on a shelf under those. How do you respond to something like that? A great question, Felix. Now this is one large mirror. Now this is where he makes himself look pretty. There's a book on the dresser. Clarice Armstrong's Bedtime Literature? Not exactly Pulitzer Prize material, is it? It's like a collection of poems he's written. Poems? Cool! Read it out. I'm saying in your best French accent. With intensity, okay? Okay, here's one. It's called Intense. The two of them, like actors from a film. The coffee still undrunk. Sweet nothings. Over too soon. On that sad Sunday morning, the foolish cocktail so delicious. Take the last sip of your tea, and I know what I will do. I must lie to you. I must. Huh? That's it? Yep, that's the poem for you. Great poem. And this is... What's this? It's like a treasure chest of something. Or something. Ah, look at these little bottles. Oh, they're aromatherapy oils. It's got so many, they're overflowing on the floor. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 98, and 100! They're all the same, too. Hey, wait a minute. What is it? There's one bottle that's different from all the others. Well, what do you know? It doesn't have a label either. And it doesn't smell. So what's that liquid inside then? I wonder. Hey Nick, you should borrow this. I mean, look how many bottles he's got. You don't miss one. Really? It's one bottle. I'm in the kitchen. Shape is different than the other bottles. Contents unknown. Okay. That looks like it's about everything, right? Yeah, looks like it's about everything. Alright. Then let us go back out to Trey Bien. Hey, Maya. Maybe someone... Anything out here? A bike. A beaten up bike, too. Generic 6 Vitamin Square. No guys, not here anymore. Drat, I still have some unanswered questions for him. What is this bike? A scooter, huh? I leave it right in the middle of the park with this. Will guard and the lights are busted. I guess it must have been in an accident. It's totally wrecked. Who are you? Hey! What do you think you're doing with my bike? No, I was just... Who's been messing with my new ride? Is that what you've been doing? The new ride? Like I have an old bike. Who's gonna pay for this? It wasn't me, I was just passing by. Hey, who's the one that covered my saddle in crap, huh? Who's gonna pay? You catch my drift? No, wait a sec. I'm not a pigeon. A wise guy, eh? I had to beat so hard that... But like you was smooching the express train. Uh-oh. You better watch your back. This ain't over. Wanna end up a group of lawyers and then you's gonna pay. Actually, I'm a lawyer myself. What do you say? I'm Phoenix Wright, attorney at law. Phoenix Wright? You saying you, Phoenix Wright? Yeah, I am. So you a wise guy too, huh? Because I'm a Phoenix Wright. I one and only. What? Out of my way, I got a cruise. He's gone. That guy wasn't my phony, was he? He wasn't anything like me. Guess I better make a note of the scooter. Scooter added to the court record. Written by my phony. The wheel guard is all smashed up. There. Old man. Oh, it's you. A few threads from a little blood like that. There we go, that's better. Looking like a pigeon. It's got seeds in its eyes. Have you been here the whole time then? I was in that strawberry. Had some thinking to do. Like you had some cowering to do. Are you a regular at that restaurant, sir? It's just that if you dislike it so much, why would you keep going there? Sir? You 50 pieces, you want food? Take that! He's got blocks too, huh?
I'll have the Magatama back. I knew it. This little guy's got something to hide. But look at it be. Ooh. I don't know if I have anything. I don't know. Maybe Gumshoe's back? Maybe Sunder's analysis? It looks like so. Hey! It's just the time! What is it, Detective Gumshoe? Oh, I've got back to me about the newspaper you gave me. Must be the sports paper with the memo scribbled on it. So, what did they say? Did the analysis turn anything up? They said that doodle was written by the victim, Glenn Allen. No doubt about it. I expected as much. The victim took the paper with him into the restaurant on the day of the murder. That's our best interpretation of the facts at the moment. This paper refiled in the court record, left by a victim. Doodle is in victim's handwriting. MC Bomber. I get the feeling I've heard that name somewhere before. Ah well, I guess it'll come back to me. Don't forget to report back with me when whatever you find in the restaurant, okay, pal? When do I start taking orders from Gumshoe? Although, I get the feeling there's something I need to show him. The bottle. You got one of those aroma bottles too, huh? Only this one doesn't smell. Eh, I don't get you. It was mixed in with all the other aromatherapy bottles, but it's not the same. It doesn't even look the same, wouldn't you agree? A cologne bottle doesn't smell, huh? Smells like a skunk to me, pal. Mind letting me borrow that bottle for a while? I'm gonna send it to the lab for analysis. The victim was poisoned, so the contents of this bottle are pretty important. A small bottle given to Detective Gumshoe. And hunch there was something funny about that, Chef. You suspect Jean Armstrong? I've got that guy's number. I don't know what his secret is. The same secret Gumshoe was talking about before. I guess I better tell you the details. Yeah, that's Armstrong guy's secret, I mean. Please, yes, I would like your gossip. So what's Mr. Armstrong's secret? You ever had lunch at Trebient, pal? Yes. So how was it? Put it nicely, it was inedible. I don't worry about being nice around me, pal. You and I both know the reason that place is so empty is because of the food. I mean, this is clean and he's got a girl like Maggie as a waitress, so... Yeah, I guess that's probably the food. I got a scoop on the guy as he's up to his ears in debt. Really? What does he owe? Here's a copy of the loan contract. He's about $500,000 in the red. $500,000? Are we talking dollars? Yeah. Hey, if it was sterling, he'd really be in trouble. Sorry, that figure just took me by surprise. This case is full of surprises. And I'd be willing to bet that Chef's got something to do with most of them. That's my hunch. John's loan contract added to the court record. John's debt is $500,000. The owner of the loan is Tender Lender. Tender Lender. Alright. Alright. I'm not quite sure. Hi, Maya. I guess maybe we could try to tackle this guy, right? I don't know if we have anything for him, though. But we'll see. Maybe we'll the piece together. Trebian regular. It's not even telling me the truth. Why are you a regular at the restaurant that you dislike so much? Isn't it obvious? People only have one reason to go to restaurants. To eat. To eat? Not the whole truth. What do you mean? I don't think you're at that restaurant for the food at all. You insolent brat! How dare you accuse me? What proof you got? I'll tell you, but not you nor anyone else in the world would go to that place for its food. Because the food is bad. Terrible. The proof is in the pudding. Or, in this case, the lunch menu. It's a twin tea set. The food at Trebian is terrible and expensive. You're wrong. It's cheap. Huh? I'm rich. I inherited money when I was a boy. Yeah, I'm staying rich. I've done a job of work since I was born. And feeding the pigeons. What a lot of crock. They say a story, but Bryce, it's nothing to me. So, you're saying that you go there because you've got money to burn? Exactly. I have so much cash, I go for a swim in my money ball every day. Unfortunately, that's a lie. What? You don't have any money to burn. You're flat broke.
You had the job listing thing. We wanted it back. This is yours, right? My magazine. Why would a rich retiree be looking for a job? I was. So what? So I was looking for a job. I'm buying a lot at the moment. I need to spend the money. Oh? I don't go to a restaurant for food. I just go for the cappuccino. Yeah, I think you mean a cappuccino or cappuccino. Anyway, how much does a cappuccino cost there? $8. This had better be some golden beans. Hey, what's your problem? You think a poor man would be better off drinking dishwater, do you? Is that it? No, I wasn't thinking that. I was wondering if the coffee there is really that great. No, it's not. But anyway, yes, that place has a free newspaper to read every day. Newspapers? Exactly, they don't want me hanging around at home, so I go there. I'm sorry, sir, but there are no free papers to read at Tues-Thurs. I guess the sport paper, right? Because that wasn't his. That wasn't actually the. That wasn't actually by the Tues-Thurs. Take a look at this. What is it? It's a newspaper I found behind the magazine rack at Tues-Thurs. So? Whatever. This was the only paper there. It's dated more than a month ago. What? Do you see what I'm getting at here? The restaurant doesn't get newspapers. Just one that the customer happened to leave behind. Ah! Tell me, why are you so determined to hide the truth? Hey, I'm not hiding anything! I'm gonna have to put this guy out of his misery. Listen, the reason why you go so much to Tues-Thurs is the beauty. What are you asking me about this girl for? She was the waitress at Tues-Thurs. Therefore, the answer to the mystery of why an old man would drink expensive coffee at a terrible restaurant is the waitress. She do be kind of cute, though. But I don't recognize that face. And you're probably telling the truth here. Because you weren't looking at the girl's face. You were looking at her thighs, her chest, her butt, all of it. Everywhere but the face, though the face is good too. But her outfit. That's the truth, isn't it? You became a regular at the restaurant because of the waitress's uniform. That uniform is all you can think about, isn't it? Yeah, I can't take it. See, that waitress was your... Enough! Please, no more. Stop saying that word. Stop saying waitress. Stop it, stop it, stop it. Ooh, we figured it out. That was a lot easier than I thought it would be. Sir? Yes, it's true. I was there for the young girl. Fine. I'm a dirty, wicked, sinful old devil. No, I didn't mean it like that. I even get one of those lousy cups of cappuccino every time for $8. Oh, because of the serving girl. Punish me, lock me up. Really, that's not what I'm here for. I mean, you'd say I'm here 20 years and you understand what it's like. You know how painful it is to be an old man like me. No, really, listen, sir. Stop calling me that. I have a name, you know, boy. Show some respect, hmm? I'm Victor Kudo. Sorry, Mr. Kudo. You young ones think you know it all, don't you? Well, I'm not saying another word. I won't tell you anything more. That was in the restaurant at the time of the incident. It means I have to hear his testimony one way or another. I wouldn't believe this. I would have broke his cyclops and everything. I also try to get him when he's in a better mood. Well, that's great. So do we have his... Dude, he's only in the profile list. He's 68, dang. That's a thing for waitresses. I'm glad that's the important fact. Interesting that what's his name isn't back yet. I wonder if just leaving and coming back is enough for him. No. So there's something for me to do. Or, I guess... I don't know, does Maya know anything about this? Probably not, right? I don't see why she would know anything. Oh, it's that old man! Is he still feeding the pigeons? Yeah, he fed me as well. I got a bunch of those seeds in my eyes. Oh, ouch. Hey, Maya, would you mind coming with me for a while?
Huh? Me? Why? There's something I really want to ask that old man. Sure, okay. I'll just get changed. No, hang on. You go like that? I guess?
Oh, okay, there we go.
Sir? Hey, you again? Well. I see.
Nick, his eyes are burning into me. It's okay, I think it's going pretty well.
Ah! Huh? You're still just a little child. Run along and play on the slide, alright?
Play on the slide?
Yeah.
We're so close. It's a little more and he would have spilled.
Pigeon, cat.
Let me correct this guy. Excuse me, please, sir?
Right, you can see him feeding the... Mia? Well...
If you don't mind, sir, I'd really love to talk with you.
Yes. Of course, certainly. Victor Kudo.
Even from beyond the grave. Wow.
I mean, he do be looking kind of nice in the outfit, though.
About the incident.
You mean the man who died after drinking the Javashino?
So he's a different person.
It was quite a shock, even for me. He was a strange-looking boy. Go took the Javachino over to him, you see.
And? Just the customer alone?
Definitely, he was the only person at the table. He took one sip of his Javachino
And?
he said something like, and he collapsed. Dead.
Oh, how terrifying.
You're so good at listening, aren't you? I'll tell you anything, whatever you want to know. He certainly seems to be telling the truth now.
Looks like Mr. Kudo didn't see the other man either. Man, Mia really do got big titties, huh? And she's holding one of them up right now and then. You like the photo tray at the end?
Well, of course. I'm really quite a sophisticated man. I was a young businessman once, you know. I set up a casino in London.
Really? Oh, interesting.
Eating the food at that restaurant really takes me back to my days in France.
What a lovely story. One is in England, not France.
Oh, yes. France is wonderful. I'd love to show you around the city sometime. It's too much. I can't take it. I want France.
I can't believe Mia's laughing at the guy. She knows exactly how to raise this little boy. You just trade in a lot, don't you?
Of course. I mean, yes. I'd like to come and see you there.
Really? Oh, you flatter me so. I would be delighted to welcome you, I'm sure.
Be careful with that chef, my dear.
The chef? Mr. Armstrong?
That's right. I'm in the next con.
He's an ex-con? I'm sorry. Whatever did Mr. Armstrong do?
Oh, no. Oh, sorry. Can't take this.
Mia's really got this guy eating out of her hand.
They'd be eating other things too, am I right? He steals things from his customers.
From his customers?
Gloves, handkerchiefs, other things mainly. He's a pilferer, so you be careful around him, my dear.
Are you sure about this?
Of course, he was arrested for it once. He was there when it happened my Javachino. I was there when it happened.
He's a regular.
Let me write you a little haiku about it.
A haiku?
Yeah, a Japanese poem. It'll explain all you need to know about it with that chef.
Convicted before, a wicked man or woman. Repeat offender. Victor Kudo. Is that really? Convicted before, F5, a wicked man or woman. Wait. A wicked man or woman. That's 6. I thought it was supposed to be 7. No, it is. It's 7. Okay, I'm just dumb. I don't have to count. Repeat offender. Repeat offender. Yeah, okay, yeah. 575 is the syllables for a haiku, by the way.
If he takes anything again, you let me know. If it's not too expensive, I'll buy you a replacement.
Poor guy. Couldn't do enough for me. Okay, Phoenix. That's about as much as I can do to help. Thanks, Mia. You got some really important information, thanks to you. Honestly, I can't believe Maya called me for something like this.
I'm glad she did. Because, 1, that outfit looks great, and 2, it helped. Guess it's about time to wrap up today's investigation. You have enough of being a waitress? Yeah, plus no one came to the restaurant. Oh la la, Mademoiselle Maya. Mon, how can you leave me like this? I'm sorry. That reminds me. He doesn't play like too. Mr. Armstrong had a Psych Locker 3, didn't he? I'm gonna have to break those. Mr. Armstrong, I hope you won't mind, but I'd like to have another word with you. Volunteers, of course. I absolutely apologize for my butchering of the French language and French accent. I know I said I took 2 years of French, but as you can tell, that does not mean anything. I do not actually speak French, nor am I French. Maggie's motive. What is happening? I do not like this horrible feeling. I had to know the truth. What happened that day? Ah, laws and laws. I will confess everything. Just don't hurt me. It's terrible. But... Huh? That's a new world record. It was a lottery ticket. A lottery ticket? The man who died there had a lottery ticket. Great. The smile really adds the knife in the statement, huh? Anyways. For $500,000. $500,000? Oui, but after the incident, his ticket. It disappeared. The ticket disappeared. This was the motive that the prosecution gave for Maggie. They said that she poisoned the man and to get the $500,000 lottery ticket. Oh my god. Why didn't you tell me about this sooner? Aye, the laws. You've been trying to hide this information about the lottery ticket from me. I want to know the reason why. No, monsieur. You doubt me, but I have confessed to you everything I know. Mr. Armstrong, $500,000 lottery ticket. I think I know who took it. I think the winning ticket was stolen by this person. Take that! Mr. Armstrong, I believe there's a very high probability that it was you. Ah! Wow. That is one piercing scream, even for a man like him. Like, pourquoi moi? Why do you have no evidence? I am not DeMasque. I'm not the kind of person who steals the property of others. Sorry to disappoint you, Mr. Armstrong, but I have evidence to the contrary. I present to you proof that you have stolen from others in the past. The haiku. Take that! What is this? A poem? Oh, monsieur, you know me so well. I adore poems. Please read it, and put some feeling into it. Convicted before a wicked man or woman. Repeat offender. I'm sorry to bring it up, Mr. Armstrong. But you've been arrested for stealing from your customers before, haven't you? Mon Dieu! Les mensonges! You are a liar. You deny it? Not make any false accusations. S'il vous plaît. So do you have any proof? What is the incontestable proof that I have ever stolen from one of my customers? The Magatama. It seems old habits die hard, Mr. Armstrong. But what is that? This is my Magatama. And I found it in your kitchen. Non! Wow, that screen just about broke some windows. Oui. I have a weakness for the little trinkets and the figurines. My hand, it just slips out. I cannot stop it. And you've stolen handkerchiefs, gloves, and other things from your customers, right? Oui, it is the truth. I'm just a timid little girl inside, monsieur. A timid little girl. Besides, this time, it was not a small trinket. It was $500,000. None. Why would I steal it? I had no need for such money. Really now? Oh, monsieur, what is it? I'm sure that you are in some really serious trouble, and that you are in a desperate need for a large amount of cash? Like, I don't know, maybe a $500,000 debt? This restaurant is deep in the red, isn't it? Ah. You have a loan to the tune of $500,000. That lottery ticket would have wiped out your debts. Well, Mr. Armstrong, what do you have to say for yourself now? Ah. There we go. Unlock successful. Mr. Armstrong, it's not the victim had a winning lottery ticket for $500,000. How did you know he had something like that in the first place? The man was listening to the radio with the earpiece. I think he said something about that too. Good gumshoe. The winning number was announced on the news, I think. All of a sudden, he exploded. Yes, $500,000, he shouted. And the ticket? He had all of E's tickets spread out on the table. I was so desperately in need for money, so I put the poison in his coffee. No. Oh, no, you naughty man. I simply helped myself to one of these tickets. What? The victim collapsed and Maggie passed out. I thought to myself, pourquoi pas? He had so many of them. Yeah, but only one of them was the winning ticket, right? How could you do that, Mr. Armstrong? Maggie was arrested because of you. No, this is not true. I did not take it. I took it for $500,000, Maggie. But you just told us you did. You said you took the ticket. My non, my fille, my filet. It was not. That's enough? Huh? Huh? Mr. Godot? What the heck are you doing here? This is without a doubt the worst coffee I've ever tasted, Mr. Armstrong. You got it for coffee? This is kind of for coffee? No bounds. Perhaps Mr. Armstrong Perhaps Mr. Armstrong stole one of the victim's tickets on the day in question. I am the airhead nun, just a pretty little girl who everyone is laughing at. But in that case, Maggie shouldn't be the only one under suspicion. He had the wrong ticket. What? Mr. Armstrong made off with the winning ticket's pretty neighbor. So the ticket he took was worthless? Not quite. He did win something. The dollar. As you see, I have just a pretty face. It's not my looks. I have nothing. So, what happened to the winning ticket? The one he meant to steal? Indeed, did happen to him. I don't like spoiling myself by watching trailers, so we'll just wait and see how the movie turns out tomorrow, won't we? Voila! You two. Time to laugh at the pretty little airhead. Looks like I won't be needing this note anymore. Victor's note, thrown into the trash. Looks like we've got a new mystery now. Namely, where did the winning ticket go? Got a bad feeling about this. Well, anyway. I can't let Maggie suffer any longer for this. Certainly not again. To be continued. Unfortunately, at another time. 1, my throat hurts. 2, it's a French accent, you know? 2 does it about that time. So I'm actually shy. That's a little bit more than I thought it would. I thought we would definitely have like 15-20 minutes remaining, but no, we're actually at our normal end time of 10. So that's good. We're gonna end here, naturally. And I really need to update these. Maybe? I don't know. I don't know what to do with them. We're in like a midlife crisis, an identity crisis with everything. I'll figure something out. I have ideas for things that I might do, but I don't know. It's all over the place with the static cards, the sub icons, all that stuff, badges. All that's just all over the place, but it's fine. Figure something out later. So Tuesday, we'll be rocking the rest of at least the first trial and probably the second investigation. Probably not the third trial on Tuesday. We'll get or the second trial. Probably get to that one on Wednesday. I don't got anything else. I mean, I will attempt some Strive, some Guilty Gear, but we'll see how that goes. Chances are it probably won't happen. At least Saturday it probably won't happen. I'll try Sunday, but we'll see. We'll see. As always, typically scheduled, or the always scheduled Monday D&D will be happening, as far as I'm aware, at least right now. That might change in like a week or two. We might have a break. Which, if that's the case, I'll probably just stream, like, Guilty Gear or something on that day. Or if the group wants to do something, then we can do that too. If they have ideas for something we can do during that time. I don't know for sure though. I don't know if we will have a break. We might not. But regardless, that's all I got. VODs channel's a thing. There's links and stuff. You can use the command. Tomorrow, 12 p.m. as always. Always 12 p.m. the next day. That's when they all go up. And we'll keep going with Ace Attorney on Tuesday. I'll try to do some gear if I can, because I have not been playing it, and I really want to. Just after Gold Lewis came out. Not that I actually particularly cared about Gold Lewis, but oh great, I got pickups now too. But you know, he does seem cool and fun to mess around with, but I probably won't play him. I kind of have more. I kind of want to focus more on Kai, Geo, and Eno, so I'll probably end up focusing on them. Thanks, YouTube. Apparently an entire Gundam movie was just uploaded on YouTube like a week ago. That's cool. Don't know how that happened, but sure. So until next time, I will either be playing Gear, B&B, or as far as the actual normal streams go, finding out a little bit more about what happened in that case a month ago, and our impersonator. So until then.